Tulu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Yeah, Detroit. Destination restoration. Yeah, it's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for stuff. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tearing back on the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to reach, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Reaching new heights never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. Oh, sorry, guys. I can't do it too loud. I'm still recovering, but I had to do a little bit. Deuce will be on in about 30 minutes, and he can give you a much better one. Woo! But I'm hyped, guys. I'm hyped. Thank you so much for your patience while we were figuring out some technical difficulties. We're still figuring out, how to do stuff, separated. Deuce has got it down, but he got to go to the game tonight, so he absolutely deserved that and deserved a little bit of a break. He'll come back and give us the lowdown. He was there for fan appreciation night, met some cool people, saw some cool things. So thank you guys so much again for your patience and for being here. Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm still a little bit under the weather. So if I cough up a lung, I'm so sorry. But how's everybody feeling? I feel fantastic. That was such a fun game. Let me see how chat's going. Go Pistons. Cade's back, guys. Cade and Stu are back. This is awesome. I mean, this is fantastic. I appreciate the love already too. Thank you, Devin. Feeling better slightly. I told Deuce he has limited time to come back before I lose my voice, so he's on it. Appreciate you guys so much. Yep, got the back end fixed. Thanks, Torch Lord. You guys are the best. Okay. Well, what up, though? How's everybody's week going? Happy, what day is it? Wednesday? Happy hump day. Last home game of the season. How are we feeling? Oh, man. Yeah. I told myself, I was like, I'm just going to yell it and see what happens. And that's what happened. So thank you. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. What a game, guys. What a game. Final home game of the season. Fan appreciation night. It was super fun to watch. Playing the Milwaukee Bucks, who have gone through it. Sometimes I wonder, seeing the Bucks and the Pacers on our schedule late, I wonder if, they thought that this would be Eastern Conference determining matchups late, not the Hornets and the Magic like we had. So pretty cool, that we got to go out in such a nice style. Everyone got to play well. We got to, again, see Cade and Stu, just see everybody really rock it tonight. So I feel good. How about you guys? Ibrahim says, what's up, y'all? Players are about to be a movie this year. Absolutely. Just yell like you're a fan. We believe. We will believe you. I'm trying. What up, though, everybody? Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. Yes, the tables have finally turned on the Bucks. Absolutely. They have some fun young guys. I'm really curious to see what happens. I don't trust anything with the Giannis stuff, especially since he partnered with Kalshi, but I'm just sick of the drama. I don't like you guys are irrelevant now. So let's move on. Let's talk about other things like, I don't know, the Pistons holding down the number 1 East seed since early November. I don't know if it's 2nd or 8th. We were 7-2 when we locked it in, and we didn't give it up. We didn't ever give it up, which is incredible. And tonight, Greg Kelser did make a point. Like, the Celtics did win, but this win solidified it in that, like, we won out. Like, there's no catching up. We knew we locked it in, but for the Celtics' sake, they just, there's just no way they could do it. So, oh, man, let me catch my breath here. But yeah, I'm really glad you guys are feeling good. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to hear how Deuce's experience was because LCA looks lit. It looked amazing. Everybody, I loved all the fan interviews they were doing. I loved just all the different people I saw there. I saw some Michigan people, the guys who just brought in the Natty. They were there. That's so exciting. That's still, alive and well. I'm sure. What a great week for Detroit fans, honestly. So I'm going to get to some super chats now from you guys because we are doing a fundraiser, which I'll get to in just a few minutes, but let's get these out of the way. Alan says, Deuce Boss, a few days ago, we spoke of the Pistons playing in a higher gear and what it might look like. We are seeing them evolve right before our very eyes, and that will be scary for the opposition. Absolutely. I totally agree. I think the last game against the Magic, we were out a lot of people. JB was really just coaching up individuals. I think he was more just trying to challenge some individuals to some different things, which of course can make the team a little bit wonky, but it also wasn't, we came into the game kind of thinking that it wasn't a must win or anything. And for our home crowd tonight, we did the exact opposite. And I think that we pulled a lot of things together. The offense was huge. The defense was huge. It was such a fun game to watch. Like, no complaints. I was telling Deuce, like, the Magic game, I just don't want the season to end that way because it's boring. It's boring Pistons basketball that we've, got to experience all season. So I'm glad that tonight we just really put it together. So thank you, Alan, so much. Let's get to Doug. Thanks for the season. Love you guys. Detroit basketball. Absolutely. And like JD said, JD went out on the court before the game and had everybody yelling Detroit basketball. And he said, we're not done yet. We're bringing everybody, more Pistons basketball this season. And I truly believe it. This team continues to, even when you come off of losses that make you a little bit like, nervous, regardless of the scenarios, they continue to come out and prove that they can just continue. They could just pull it together. And there's just everybody had a great performance tonight. I think that's the most exciting thing. They're all going into the playoffs so confident. And I love that. So I agree. Thank you, Doug. And we've got, wow, you guys, the chat can't keep up. Camille, thank you. Now it's playoff time. Let's break the perceptions. So offensive foul times 6. Yeah, that's probably where my sickness started. I was yelling offensive foul, offensive foul, offensive foul. I didn't know it was going to be clipped, but that's how I act without the cameras on. Regardless, I'm screaming at my TV for some Pistons basketball. So not a lot of offensive fouls tonight, which is nice. So love that. Love it, guys. Yep, almost playoff time. What's up, Stella? Thanks for tuning in. Again, anyone who's just getting here, Deuce will be on soon. He's a pro at this. I appreciate your guys' patience with me because it is different talking to you guys without, talking to someone else. It's hard. I give him credit. I give him so much credit. So, let's see. Was at the game. Vibes couldn't be any better. Absolutely. And you're a part of that. I mean, it looks so fun. I always talk to Deuce about how Nuggets games are a blast. It's kind of the arena is kind of known for their fans, but I'm like, the Pistons, man, they're a close second this season. The arena has been fantastic, and I'm so excited. I'm planning on coming. They haven't set the date yet for the first playoff game, but I will be there that Sunday, the 19th, hoping that it's that day. And I know that it's just going to be absolutely unreal. And I would love to know if any of you guys are going. We got it. We got to meet up. I got to put some faces to names. I'm so excited. So, yeah. What's up, Brandon? I'm doing great. How are you doing? What up, Mega Hustler? What up, Crud? Thank you. I'm doing my best. Thank you, Sella. I appreciate you guys. Once Deuce gets here, I'm going to have to take some deep breaths and some water because this is a lot, but super appreciate you guys already. All right. So let's get into some things. First of all, let's talk about the amazing fundraiser that we're running. Some of you guys already sent super chats, and half of those will go towards this, and couldn't be more excited. It is for Autism in the D. It is Detroit's first autism adaptive and inclusive gym and community center that's opening this month. April is Autism Awareness Month, and as you guys know, as Deuce has talked about, his two beautiful sons, both are on the autism spectrum, and it's something that I know that I'm glad I get to speak on a little bit because it's something very vulnerable for him to share, and I consider it extremely brave, what he's doing, for his kids and for other kids in the community. So just to know that we have amazing fans that can support that as well is awesome and incredible. And you can actually meet Deuce and his kids at the Detroit Autism Rock, War for Autism. And that is on this upcoming Sunday, April 12th from 12 to 3. I think the Pistons play later in the day. So you definitely have time to get there. You can say hi, just support. I know that's huge. Get out. I don't know what the weather's like in Detroit. You guys tell me. But in Denver, Colorado, it's beautiful right now. So and the excuse to be outside, truly. But this is very important to not only the community, but to Deuce and his family. And he absolutely deserves all the support in the world, as do all families that have children or loved ones or friends with autism. As I think it's finally starting to get the correct recognition that it deserves and the support that it deserves. So thank you guys so much for anything you can contribute. Just being here is a huge support as well. So thank you for that. I also, guys, want to talk about real quick before we get into some game stuff. I don't have the a graphic for it. Deuce is the king of graphics. I'm still learning about all the internet things. But Tulu Smith, guys, was signed to a 2-year deal with the Pistons, a regular NBA contract, which is incredible. So proud of Tolu. He absolutely works hard. You guys know Tolu as the guy who introduces the podcast, and hopefully you know him as the guy who's been holding it down in the G League and stepped up in big moments for the Pistons. It is absolutely deserved. I believe it's kind of a team option going into year 2, not guaranteed, but it does make him eligible to play for us in the playoffs. I don't believe that it has anything to do with our it speaks nothing of our other bigs. I think it's just recognizing that we're going to be facing some tough people, and Tulu Smith has been fantastic at boards. He's fantastic at just size out there. He just really brings some energy, and I'm just thrilled for him. We did have to, like Phantom says here, we lost Bobby Klintman, though. Deuce is going to be sad. Yeah, I'll let Deuce speak on that for himself, but it's tough because we love basically all of our guys. So to see Bobby go for Tolu is, very bittersweet, but I think it's going to open doors for both players, and I'm excited to see them both thrive. And I absolutely think that they both can. So I just want to give a shout out to Tolu. I'm sure when Deuce comes, we'll circle back to it a little bit, but just I'm incredibly proud of him. And he made a little bit of a statement. You guys may have seen the video that they showed, I think going into the fourth quarter or around that time. They asked Tolu about how he felt, and he said, his mom was crying, his grandma was crying, it's making him cry. He's very hardworking. And if you guys, want, to tug on your heartstrings a little bit, Deuce did an interview with Tolu in the off season this past summer, and it just really shows how he is just an incredibly hard worker. He's always looking to add to his game. So I'm very glad that, to have him on our team. So Torstory says Tolu was happy when he walked down the entrance and saw his picture on the wall for all the active Rockstar players. Yeah, they said that too. Natalie brought that up there. I guess they have banners, and the two-way players all shared one, and he was walking down the hallway and noticed that he now has his own. So it's incredibly exciting. So it will, I'm just excited for him, and we got to see a little bit of him tonight, but he's been incredible in the G League, and I just see him continuing to grow from here. So yeah, Maddie, this is exactly the cruise to Pistons pipeline is paying off big time. And this is huge for other reasons. I'll just comment on it real quick because it is something that I think is going to be beneficial to the Pistons as they grow. is that we can kind of grow in-house. The crews play with the Pistons. They practice in the same facility. So they really just play similar styles. The coaches get to see these guys just really work hard. The crews have had an incredible season. And it's just, kind of another benefit of having all that talent on our G League team to work with constantly is just going to be so beneficial in growing our team as we move forward. Because again, our window is just opening, and I see nothing but great things in the years to come for this team, which is incredible to say. So just want to give, again, a quick shout out to Tulu Smith. And let's get to the super chat real quick from Maddie. Thank you. Huge of Deuce to share something so personal. Absolutely. Happy to support the cause. Thank you, Maddie. Maddie, you've always been so supportive of not only the fundraisers that we run, but of the Pistons, of the crews, of the Detroit community. Really special. Again, guys, I live in Denver, and I was just introduced to kind of the online Pistons community last year towards the end of the season. And I've met some incredible people, and Maddie definitely sticks out as one of the best. And him and his wife are just really encapsulate what it is like to be a Detroiter and the heart that you guys have. So thank you, Maddie, so much. Shout out to you and to everyone else. So Doug also says, Sarah, the 21st pick was clinched for the Pistons tonight with Wolves losing. Yay. Wow. Thank you, Doug. That is incredible news, guys. So again, before we get to this game, this is something, again, I'm sure Deuce is going to want to talk about. This is huge because in the Jaden Ivey trade that brought us Herter, we also got the pick swap for the Timberwolves, and we're sitting at 28th, which we will stay at. And it was a pick swap through 19 through 26 protected or something like that, maybe 27. But so the 21st pick clinch is huge. I don't know how the Suns are behind them. The Suns just lost to the Rockets. I think they're a couple games behind them. The Suns could possibly overtake them, and then we would have the 20th pick because it's 19 protected, so we just can't go to the 19th. That would be huge, but that just really pays off for the trade that happened. It was something that we didn't really know what was going to happen, so thank you, Doug, for that info because I'm excited. I know a lot of you guys think that some Pistons guys will fall to the – or Pistons, Michigan guys will fall to that, but I trust Trajan for sure. He hasn't let us down yet, so very excited. Yeah, Yaxel is getting a preview of his future team tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Maddie, too. Great community with the best fans in the world. 100%. 100%. It was definitely shown tonight. So thank you, guys. Okay. Next up, let's get going. We'll get into it because Deuce will be like, what did you do all day if I get here and we're not talking about the game yet? But injury report was just Kevin Herter with an illness. He wasn't on the bench, so I'm inclined – I didn't see him, so I'm inclined to believe – it's true that he is also sick, which I feel for him because I am too. But with it just being Herter, guys, that means that Stu and Cade were back. They were back. It was awesome to see that. They were doubtful on Monday. We knew that they were on their way back. JB had said in press conferences that he was looking forward to getting these guys on the court. He wanted everyone to play at least one more regular season game for them. And I optimistically was hoping for this game. It's the last home game. It's fan appreciation. The fans deserve to see two of their the most beloved players in Detroit, which is Isaiah Stewart and Cade Cunningham. And they did. And they did see them for significant time, especially Cade. He hit his 20-minute mark and kept playing. It was awesome. And we'll get to it, but the return was beautiful. What did you guys think about that return for him? Because from my perspective, I think that he looks really good. He's absolutely shutting down anyone that said, well, he won't even be 100% by the playoffs. This was probably Cade, I want to say, at 70%. He recorded a double-double. He had good looks, but he was playing hard. He had blocks, good defense. He was running out, dunks, threes. That sounds pretty amazing to me. So Torch Lord said Cade did well, but had a few turnovers. Yeah, you could tell that he's not. You could definitely tell he's a little bit slow. His handles weren't the best. He wasn't necessarily running, up the court. His handles weren't. He wasn't wearing himself out when he was ball handling, basically. So yeah, a few turnovers, but overall, I think he did well for a return where people thought that he wouldn't even look 100% through the first round or would even be back through the first round. So Cruz says, seeing Cade and Stu back damn near brought tears to my eyes. Absolutely. Ibrahim says Cade looks good, especially that block. Oh, that was so fun. That and the dunk. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, Devin, 70%. Exactly. It wasn't necessarily anything bad for any other player. That stat line is good. The way he played is good. But us knowing Cade, he didn't push it. He did, though, guys. Oh, my gosh. Like the first play of the game, one of the first possessions of the game, I think he fouled AJ Green on a 3. And he fouled him with AJ's elbow went into his chest. I was like, Cade, you're going to come in and within 2 minutes, you're going to get an elbow to the lung. Let's not. But it also shows me that he's also feeling good because he wasn't a cone at all. Nothing like that. So Scooby said, I thought it was awesome. I even popped down here to holler out Cade. Let's go. Sorry I missed that, but absolutely. I was panicking every dribble, Kenyatta. Yeah, I was nervous for some of it. You never really saw him go down. He wasn't diving for anything. He had a couple of times, I think on the turnovers, like Torchler had mentioned, there were a couple of times he probably could have fought a little harder to maintain possession, but he thought better of it. I think his mind was in the game and also on his injuries, which is all you can ask. So Zion says, decent return by Cade. Glad he got back in time to get some reps in and prepare for playoff basketball. Absolutely. Sella says he definitely had that look in his eyes that he wanted to prove a point. He looked good, though. Absolutely. Appreciate you, John. Holding it down. Appreciate you very much. Clara, what's up, Sarah? Glad to see the guys back. Kane and Isaiah looked okay considering all the time they missed. Absolutely, Clara. Again, thanks for popping in. Deuce will be on soon as well. Cade looked good. I really missed them. Yeah, Cade was testing those lungs out. Yeah, this absolute Cade's new nickname is Iron Lung. Yeah. So big return from him. And we did get to see some Stu as well, which I liked. We didn't get a lot of minutes from him, but calf strain, I don't know anything. Obviously collapsed lung is tough, but calf strain is scary because we've seen guys try to play through it, like a Kevin Durant and like a Tyrese Halliburton, and it resulted in the worst thing possible. So I think Stu definitely took his time getting back, and hopefully he can ease in a little bit more, and I absolutely think he will. But he's just so physical. Not that Cade's not, but you just really don't want to re-aggravate that strain for sure. So yeah, that's where we're at with the injury report. The Bucks had a ton, guys. Deuce is usually good at looking this up. So I'm not basically Giannis, KPJ. Those are the two I can think of off the top of my head that matter to the team. But they had some fun young guys. Someone I really like on their starting lineup was Osman Dang, who I think is hit this opportunity. He's really taken advantage of, and I'm excited to see his career as well. When I hear the name Dang, it's spelled differently, but I grew up in Chicago, and I grew up when Luol Deng was on the Chicago Bulls, and he was just everybody's favorite. So whenever I hear Dang, I'm like, oh, that's what I'm reminded of. Just like they have Torian Prince, and whenever I hear Prince, I think of Artesian. So but Dang, Prince, Jericho Sims, AJ Green, and Ryan Rollins, guys. Ryan Rollins is also a shooting product of Coach Hart with Jenkins, and so incredible guy. I think he's the Bucks' future, honestly. I think they start if they do trade Giannis or they do kind of clear house, that they start with him as front and center as their rebuild. He is fun. He's risky. He plays hard. Great shooter. I really like him. So, sorry guys, I have to catch my breath again. Oh, my lungs are like, Sarah, please. But they're better than Cade's, but still not good. And then our starting five guys tonight was Cade Cunningham, Assar Thompson, Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson, and Jalen Duran, our regular starting five. So super exciting to see them all back on the court. And for now, we will get into initial thoughts. My initial thoughts. Okay. Well, overall, the game was very fun. Super fun. I agree. I just think that it was incredible to see so many guys. Like some guys had like off games, like Tobias, not his prettiest game, but nobody had like a bad game. And a lot of guys had great games. And that's what was most exciting about it is, again, to finish out the season at home for your last home game and to be able to play everybody that's available to you on the bench, literally everybody, and come out with such a substantial win. They won 137-111. and just played really hard. The first quarter, the Bucks came out and they fought. The Pistons definitely didn't look as lackadaisical or unmotivated as they did against the Magic game, especially with Cade back out there too. So it's just pretty equal for a while. And then once we broke away from them, we just absolutely took off. So I'm just laughing at Stella. Plus, dang, Cade caught a stray. No, more so, I'm not. Don't give me sympathy for my lungs. Give your sympathy to Cade. Give all your sympathy to Cade. My lungs will heal within a few days. But so yeah, that I think that again, super fun, super physical. There were a couple times I would say like a negative I didn't like was just I feel like the Bucks had a lot of open threes, especially early. And it's just something that our perimeter defense just has to be solid with some of the teams we might face in the East, like the Hornets, like the Heat, like the Bucks, like even the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. But I'm not going to get too much into it because this was a game of just go out there and win and go out there and play. Later in the game, JB did take some timeouts to talk about defense and everything. But early, I just really didn't like the way the defense was playing. They just, again, left way too many guys open on the perimeter. And it's just something I don't want to see. Greg Kelser called this a tune-up week, which it absolutely is. I think these guys are aware of it. But I did want to see a little bit better perimeter D, but overall the defense was a blast to watch. Deuce usually gets into his numbers, and I'm not really sure where he finds that information, and I'm not going to waste your guys' time looking for it. So I will say we had 19 stocks tonight. We had 10 blocks and 9 steals. The Bucks only had 9, so we had 10 more. That's fun. That's fun, good defense. They had 5 steals and 4 blocks. Turnovers, we had 12, not the best, but not the worst. And they had 13. And trying to think, we got to the free throw line quite a bit tonight. We were 27 of 30 from the free throws, which is huge. We shot 47% from 3 and 57% overall. That's incredible. I think that's what's most exciting is our offense is really kind of coming together. The past few games, I don't know. I think the Magic game, we were pretty similar for a little bit, but this past month, our offense, we've been shooting closer to 50% a game. That's huge, especially when our biggest sort of critique or things we needed to work on early on was getting Cade help. And while, that's still valid in some ways, it feels like a lot of these guys have stepped up to help, especially in the offense area. That's where he needs the help. So I think is just huge, just to see some guys get into rhythm and that our offense has been able to spread out and we haven't gone, possessions without scoring. We did today. They went on a 14-2 run, but it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't bad shots or anything. Things just weren't really falling. But we've been really just holding our own on the offensive end, which I think is something that's improved on. And when we face some of these other teams that maybe haven't seen us in a while, like the Knicks, like the Cavs, it's going to, kind of shock them, I think. So very impressive on that end. What did you guys think of? Yeah, thanks. You guys are coming in. I'm going to mute for 1 second so I can cough. Thank you. I was holding that in. So thank you so much. Stella says there was turnovers back-to-back in the first quarter, but immediately they were made up. Yeah, they kind of locked in. Again, after the first, I think it's kind of that, are we playing with, when you're locked in to the number 1 seed, the motivation has to come from somewhere. And like I said, I think we did better than we started the Magic game, but the motivation had to come in other ways. And I think they finally realized, like, guys, we can beat this team. We can beat these Bucks. So yeah, it was, let's see if I'm Jamal. It's Jay Chevy Sports. I'm pretty sure you're Jamal. It's definitely been feeling like guys have been shooting it better. Ron, Karras, and Wu have been great. We'll definitely need them to keep it up in the playoffs. Yeah, I totally agree. And what's crazy about this is these 3 are 3 guys that we've asked to provide defense for us first. And all of them took initiative on shots tonight. We'll get to Ron, but this was huge. Ron was 75% from 3, and they were all corner threes. which I talked about. Ron's 3-point shooting needed to be from the top because they were long when he first started. They were all long, and he needed to see the backboard. His corners were all air balls because they were too long. But tonight he went 3 of 4 from that. And he actually, we'll get to him later, but he was probably my favorite player of the game. I talked about how the Magic game, I really wanted him to get some confidence before going into the playoffs, because you can tell that he wants to have more minutes than he did last year. And again, last year wasn't because he wasn't producing or anything. It's because he was young and we had other guys. We had a different scheme of things, and he's definitely got more minutes and more opportunities this season. And tonight, I think his confidence got a little bit, it got lifted up a little bit. And that's exactly what I wanted to see. He had some mistakes, which we'll get to, but he didn't let it bother him. He did foul out. His whistle has not been good, but what he did in between that before fouling out was huge. So yeah, we can beat any team. Agreed, Charlie. Yeah, very, very exciting. So without further ado, I guess we should get into some box scores. Hold on 1 second. Deuce just texted me real quick. He said on the way home, but he told me that 30 minutes ago. So, all right, 15 minutes, he said. I'm just excited. I'm having a blast with you guys, but I'm excited to see how his night went as well. So we will start with, gosh, that feels wrong talking about Cade Cunningham's return without Deuce. But we will start with him, guys, and we'll see he can come in and give us his thoughts on that as well. But Cade Cunningham tonight, guys, had a double-double in his return. What? Cade, stop it. He played almost 26 minutes, which is fantastic. I would have been okay with him playing just a quarter worth of minutes to just ease back in. I know a lot of people want him to hit that 20-minute mark, because if he plays, guys, 20 minutes for the next 3 games, he's at 64 games, and he might be able to appeal. There's an appeal that as long as you play 62 games, you can appeal for special circumstances. And he might be able to appeal that it was like he played the majority of the season before going down. I know Luka has an appeal for the birth of his daughter, and I feel like that's kind of more what they have the appeal system for, because they're just trying to avoid injuries and load management. So we'll see. I just hope that if he does, I think Wemby's on the verge as well. So those are 3 guys that I definitely want to see, get awards. So I would hope that they, do consider all of their potential appeals. But regardless, Cade got to play 26 minutes tonight, and he looked awesome. Again, I think he was closer to 70%. But he had 13 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Cade? Healthy people don't even do that in your position. 6 of 11 field goals, which is beautiful at 55%. 1 of 2 from 3. No free throws. So we got our answer on if Cade whistles returning. But to be honest, there were a couple times that he wanted the whistle, but people weren't too physical with him. I'll ask you guys real quick though too. What was his name? The guy who was guarding him is a rookie out of UNC, I think, because they brought up Mike Malone, who's going to be their new coach. Cormac Ryan. I like seeing new young players. Cormac Ryan, I think, did a really good defensive job on Cade Cunningham. But this man studied Brunson or something. He drove to the basket and immediately was head whipping. I'm like, I can't with this. Did you guys notice that? I don't want to be petty towards certain players, but this is what I fear, that, how the league, since I was a kid, it was physical. It wasn't physical like the 80s, but it was physical. They didn't foul bait, nothing like that. I mean, some people did, but then it kind of got more and more. And now it's so bad. They introduced the flopping tech last year. And then you see that it's and he's a rookie. I'm like, is this what's coming into the league? Because I do not like it. But I'll give him credit that I did like his defense, but I'll not give him credit that he was flopping and flailing. No, I don't like the head whip. I don't like the head whip. But regardless, guys, I just had to mention that because he got Cade a couple times, and then he had Cade got him, and he was smiling at him like, nah, it's not going to be that easy, kid. There were a couple times I think Cade just wanted to prove to him, nah, you're a rookie. But a few times, on the fouls, because they had that challenge. He was the one that the Bucks challenged the foul, and they called Cade for it. But to me, it's like Cade doesn't even have the like all-star whistle. This is ridiculous. So, but yeah, so some of you guys saw it. Thanks. I appreciate it. I was like, I hope I'm not just being a hater, but yeah, the rules are catering more and more to the offensive player. That's even what Blaha said. There was a couple push-offs or using your offhand, and it's favoring that. But the way the Pistons are playing defense, the way that OKC is playing defense, the way that the Spurs are playing defense, I'm kind of hoping that we start to see a defensive shift in the coming years, that where defenders kind of get the same respect that offense does as well. Because I just love an aggressive offensive player, a guy that doesn't feel the need to yell or flail as he's driving to the basket. He just wants to get the job done, like a Cade Cunningham. But anyways, Cade had 3 turnovers tonight. He did lead the team, who had 12. So again, it was pretty spread out. But if that's the only negative of his game, his first game back in like 3 weeks and in 26 minutes, it's not the best, but I'm not going to fault him for it at all, because again, I think what the most thing that I think he was a little bit off rhythm with was just his handles. And I'm not saying that in a way that it looked bad. It was just more, I think he kind of approached the possession. You kind of knew what he was going to do with it, if he was going to drive or if he was going to assist. And if he was going to assist, he didn't put much care into how he shook a defender. So, but yeah, I just want to say he played 5 minutes before sitting in the first, and then he came back in. He came back in with 2.5 left. I wasn't expecting that. Usually Cade is the one that's in there the longest for us when the game starts. So to see him, so he came in, he was the first one out, 5 minutes. I was like, okay, no, he's pacing himself. He didn't necessarily look out of breath, but they're just watching things, Came back in with 2.5 left. He had a nice running layup to get his first basket. And then the next possession, AT lobbed it to him. AT had a couple connections to Cade tonight. It was actually pretty incredible. I'm pretty sure all of Assar Thompson's assists tonight were to Cade Cunningham. But he had a dunk off the lob. I was just like, hold on for dear life, please. In the second, he ended the Bucks 14-2 run out of a timeout, which, again, they just ran a play through Cade, which just shows me that he is still the team is very confident in where he's at, because if you just want your guy to stand in the corner or sit like a cone, then you don't run the play out of a timeout through him. So in the fourth, again, someone mentioned it too already, the fourth quarter block on Trent Jr. perimeter, we were up 31. And Cade Cunningham went up to block Gary Trent Jr. I think that's who it was. It might have been Nance. I get those guys confused. I don't know why. But yeah, it was just so impressive and fun to see. I have it in all caps. He just looked fantastic out there, and it didn't look like he was overexerting himself in any way. He wasn't coming up the floor slow. So I think it was also just, I was pleasantly surprised to see him play closer to 26 minutes than just 20. Especially in the fourth when we were up so high. We got to see even him with some Jenkins minutes as well. So just, again, super fun to see Cade. But I'll let Deuce talk about it too, but he did get that foul again, like I mentioned, the elbow to the chest that AJ Green gave him, and that was a foul that was assaulted in a 4-point play at the beginning of the game. And we don't like that. But it was just like Phantom says here, just shaking off the rust. Jay's just talking about. Devon says, told you all Cade was coming back, by the way. Yes, you did. All right. Scooby said, to me, it looked as if coach told him beforehand to take it easy out there. Yeah, possibly. He definitely did and definitely didn't. Again, going for a block on the perimeter up 31 is tone setting for sure. Sorry, guys. Love that he is getting that prep while staying healthy, of course. Absolutely. GBH says, was Cade back in his usual role? Did he play more off ball than usual? No, he was in his usual role. Again, he ended it with a double-double. He ended with 10 assists in less than 26 minutes, 13 and 10. That's impressive work. Scooby said, I thought we'd be lucky to have Cade back for the first playoff round. This was a treat. Absolutely. I'm really just happy that he's getting some, I think JB mentioned it, like getting some playing time, on an NBA court against another NBA team because you can't replicate the feeling of a game. Even if you try to do a scrimmage, you can't replicate it. That's what I said last post game is like, you can try, you can bring up the G League guys and said, hey, we're playing a game tonight and it matters, but it doesn't really matter. So I think huge. Some fans were a little bit split. Some people were like, I don't want him to come back. I'm nervous. I'm scared. And I get that. But I think this is just huge in terms of him being able to, get into some form before we go into the playoffs. It makes me feel better. So to be honest, Cade came back sooner than expected. So I'm chilling. Absolutely. Yeah. Just super fun. Torch Sword. Yep. There was a point where Danis and Cade was on the court at the same time. Yeah. At the beginning of the fourth. They weren't on there for long. I didn't necessarily see anything between them, but I was excited. I thought that the way that JB was kind of ran the game tonight, I think he was kind of playing it as close to a playoff lineup as possible. I think Stu will obviously get more minutes and so will Cade, but like he kept some guys in early, or he kept some guys in later rather than take them out too early, even though we were up. And I think that he played them together because then he could sit them together and play some other guys and just made sure that they got the minutes and some more experience to end the last home game of the season. So yeah, this is great for Cade. So that's kind of, where I'm at with Cade. We'll probably circle back to him for a little bit with Deuces here because he's definitely going to want to talk about him. But I'm just so thrilled to see him back. He played incredible. Incredible for the injury that he's coming off of. Played better than some point guards that are healthy play at the end of the day. So very excited to see that. And I think we'll see him in probably about the same minutes for the next few games, at least on Friday against the Hornets will be fun because the Hornets are still fighting for something. I believe if we win on Friday, the Hornets will be only option will be 9 and 10. I think. I'm not sure. But so they're fighting to be 7 and 8 because the winner of 7-8 gets 7th place. If you're not the winner of the 7-8 game, you got to play 2 games to get in, and you have to win twice. If you win in 9-10, then you have to play the loser of 7-8. So you definitely want to try to get in quickly. That whole thing. The play-in has been so fun this year because it is like 5 through 10 is just so up and down. Like I don't think 10 can get to 6, but actually I think 10th is only like a game and a half behind 6. So maybe they have some stuff to play for. So it'll definitely be a challenge in terms of playing a team that definitely wants to win on Friday. I'm excited. And then our last game is on Sunday against the Pacers, which again, I think Cade will play if he thinks that he can be eligible for awards. Otherwise, I think it'll be like the Bucks game last year where everything was kind of finalized and locked in, and we got to see Lindy Waters tie the game for us and Pat Connaughton pop off. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. The Pistons won again. What's up, MB? Well, so yeah, loved the game from Cade. So excited to have him back. Let me take a deep breath, guys, and fill my lungs back up. Thank you. Someone asked if it's pneumonia. It's not pneumonia. I'm a nanny. I work with kids. They had hand, foot, and mouth. I don't know if you guys know that. They had hand, foot, and mouth last week. It's pretty, it affects kids the most. It's hard for adults to get it, but adults can get sick off of it. And that's kind of what I got from that. So super fun. Thank you, nanny kids. But it's my own fault. I watched the 2-year-old lick playground equipment. So I knew it was coming. But we'll move on to Duncan Robinson. Tonight, Duncan he played for 24 minutes. He had 20 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, a steal on 8 for 13 shooting, 62%, incredible. And 4 of 8 from 3. It felt like more, didn't it? It felt like more. Oh, here, Torso, real quick. I was wondering what, the Pistons won again. Okay, did I say that out loud? If you didn't know that, that's what it means. The Pistons won again. Pretty cool. Yeah, I have my water here. Once Deuce gets here, I'm taking like a 20-second break, and I'll let him talk for a few minutes, and I'll just hydrate. But yes. Anyways, back to Duncan. 4 of 8 from 3, which is so fun. Incredible. No free throws for him either. 1 turnover, 1 foul. Duncan was just fun, guys. In the second, he had 2 threes in a row. He started the game kind of slow, But then in the second, he had 2 threes in a row. And then he had a steal to his dunk near the end of the second. And I think Natalie talked to Jarrett Jack about his reaction to that because everyone was like, whoa, what are you doing there, Dunk? I feel like it was a bigger reaction than like when Tobias dunks. But I think it was because, again, 2 threes in a row and then a defensive play and a dunk. And then on a possession later, another 3. So the second quarter, he was just raining threes and he was just a blast to watch. And, you know, the Detroit runs on Duncan right now in terms of shooting. And again, it's just something you want to see your guys get into this kind of rhythm as the season closes out, because it's a blessing and a curse to have a week off. I think if you guys, you know, are Lions fans, you understand that we are terrible coming off of a bye week. So you don't want the extra. Sometimes you're just like, are you rusty? Are you going to be slow? Are you going to just be out of rhythm? And so you want to finish this week strong and then obviously get into rhythm, keep the rhythm up next week. And then the playoffs start. But I truly do believe that what JD said before the game to the fans tonight is that the Pistons are bringing more Detroit basketball. So absolutely. I completely agree. Dunk also, I feel like his defense, again, he had that steal, but he had a couple of disruptions. He was knocking things out of bounds late in the game. He was out there just making it tough. He had a lot of baskets and he had 3 assists because he would be open at the top, but he just ran a different play. And I love that because it's just, again, kind of testing what the team can do together in terms of ball movement and who can see who and who can do what. And Duncan's been pretty solid when he dribbles in. He either has a really nice floater or he passes it out. And we saw that again tonight for sure. So just really loving, again, what Duncan is doing for us as he's been a big part of why our offense has been shooting 50%. So absolutely loved it. Sean says, Duncan has been such a sweet surprise. I'm shocked that Miami let him go. Yeah, guys, I wasn't feeling Duncan in the offseason last year. I was feeling LeVert more. I loved Karis LeVert. But I think I wasn't feeling Duncan because I hated Miami. Like, I think I even, like, I have that in writing to someone either because I was like, I don't love this Duncan. They were like, wait, why? Why? I was like, you know what? It's just because it's Miami. I associate him with that. So now he's Detroit. Now, you know, he's not backing down from fights. He's, you know, running up the court screaming, woo, you know. So he's definitely, and again, the effort on the court on both ends has been just unreal. And it's all you can ask from him. So I totally agree with you. Heisenberg, when they showed the slow-mo replay, he had a big old cheesy grin as he was going out for that dunk. Oh yeah. I love it. Yeah, they were catching up to us when he went off. Yep. A big part of he was a part of the reason again in the second, then we kind of pulled away. We ended up going up by 16. They cut the lead back down. I think we ended the half up 11. I could be wrong, 11 or 13. But he was a big reason that we pulled away from them after the first quarter was pretty equal. Any other ones? Yeah, Scooby Snacks. Yeah, it takes a while to replace a face with a different jersey. Agreed. And I've kind of learned that. There's definitely some people in this league that I would be devastated to see in a Pistons jersey. But otherwise, I can recognize that they're a part of our team now. They're a part of our team. And I was a little, and I'll use this as an example. This wasn't devastation. This was just more like me growing up in Chicago, is when Derrick Rose played for us. I was like, but this is Chicago's guy. And I fight with Chicago fans. So, but obviously, and then Herter is another one, but that wasn't necessarily more hating his team, but he was just someone I wasn't expecting to play as well as he did with us. So yeah, pretty spectacular. And Duncan also, guys, I know we're running this fundraiser, but he also posted to his story that April is also Mental Health Awareness Month. And Duncan has been open about his brother taking his life after years of mental health struggle, a mental health disorder. I believe it was schizophrenia, but don't hold me to that. I'm not going to speak for him, but he also has I think it's just the Duncan Robinson Foundation that could absolutely use just some support and donations if you guys so choose. Just like autism, mental health is also something that needs to be taken very seriously. And I think it has been. taken seriously more in recent years. So April's just popping off with the basketball and the fundraisers. So I just want to put that out there as well. Sella, I live in Chicago for 10 years and I follow Chicago's Bears fans. So Chicago's Bears fans have nothing to say. I mean, neither do the Lions, but Chicago Bears fans, yeah. My family's pretty split. My nephew is a Bears Chiefs fan, and that hurts. But as long as you're not a Green Bay fan, you can come to my family. You can marry in. That's where I'm at with that. And real quick, Heisenberg, I never thought I could root for Schroeder. I actually loved him on our team last season. Yeah, he was one of actually my favorite players coming in the NBA. I was so excited to get him. But I understand why, because he's just that guy. Like, every time you see him, he's on a team that you didn't think he was on. And you're just like, what are you doing here again? And then he just played incredibly against you. So, yeah, I do agree with that sentiment as well. But so that's where I'm at with Dunk. Let's move on to Assar Tasmanian Thompson, as Deuce calls him. Or I really love that Mason calls him the stop sign. And I don't know if you guys follow the players on social media, but they were sharing Assar's Defensive Player of the Month announcement, and they all put stop signs in the stop sign emoji in their stories. And I was like, okay, so this nickname is catching on. But Tasmanian Thompson works just as well, especially when you see the way he moves out there. So Assar, and I don't have Deuce will put up a poll, guys. I don't know how he does all that. He's so good at tech stuff. So when he comes, he can put up a poll. But Assar would probably be in the running for me for player of the game, just the way that he played. He played for 25 minutes, or closer to 24 minutes, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks for 4 stocks, 4 of 6 shooting, okay, 0 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 free throws, and no turnovers, and only 1 foul. So he played incredible. I want to say real quick, Assar, because the 0 of 1 3, that's probably what sticks out here the most, because he shot a 3, guys, tonight, and it was an air ball, which was tough. But then Ryan Rollins, who is a good 3-point shooter and can shoot the 3, he got an air ball. So it can happen to anyone. I choose to believe that it was just Assar was just off and he can drain those. But it was just cool to see him, take that. He's looking a lot more confident to me lately. Don't you guys agree? Like, I've said it all season in my post games. He tends to go on trends of up, down. Like he's super, he's in his head and then he's super confident, and he's in his head again and he's super confident. And then he had his injury a few weeks ago and he came back a little bit slow. And ever since then, it's just been confidence. And again, guys, we got a dunk. We got a couple dunks. He's not finishing soft at the rim. He's going in and he's dunking the ball. And that's what I want to see from him. And that's how he's gotten 4 of 6 shooting, is because he's being very intentional with his shooting and his shot creation and what he is finding. His shot creation isn't a jump shot. It's not a 3. It's not a turnaround midi. It can be sometimes, but it's at the rim, and he's making sure the ball goes in, which a lot of you have even pointed out. Like, you just want him to be a little bit more aggressive with the athleticism that he has. I think if you guys watch Amen Thompson, you'll kind of see there's a difference there. They both are fantastic players. They play different positions. They play different roles on their teams. But Assar is kind of matching. I think he's always been better on defense than Amen, but now he's matching just the confidence on the offensive end that I see Amen have as well. He's being very decisive with the ball. I mean, I'm sorry, but 4 assists and 0 turnovers is great for Assar. It really is. So get some comments real quick. AT was fire. The stop sign wearing number 9. I love that. Sabara, I mean, got to write that down so Deuce can sing it. The backbone of the defense, absolutely. Assar was everywhere tonight. My depoy, yeah, truly. I feel like he's going to end up with more than 2 steals and 2 blocks the way he was playing. Like, I think they just haven't caught up to that on the stat sheet. Wemby, I think Wemby is a clear winner just because it's Wemby and he does play smart defense. He's not just a big body. But if Wemby is disqualified, I feel like Assar is going to come in second. And if Wemby is disqualified, like, Assar takes it. And that's not a Mickey Mouse one to me. That's just playing in a league with a guy like Wemby and being at his level without his height. So I think Assar he can get 5 blocks a game, not as easily as Wemby with his height, but everything else he does, it's pretty equal, I would say. Take away the height and they look pretty similar, or not take away. Consider Wemby's height in some of the things he does, and then what Assar is doing, I think, is even more impressive. Assar just destroyed the Milwaukee perimeter players. Absolutely. Like I said, I didn't love some of the open 3 shots that Milwaukee was getting, but Assar wasn't the reason for that at all. Yep, he's even dunking more. Exactly. Good stats for Assar. Oh, sorry, I had to take a breath. I saw that Assar had 68 steals since January 30th. Wow. Yeah, we'll get to Wu too. Wu actually is 3rd in the NBA coming in with 88 steals off the bench, and I'm pretty sure he had more tonight, and we'll get to him. That's 3rd in the NBA for steals off the bench, and that's fantastic for Wu, especially considering that he's gone up and down in his minutes. Scooby says Assar literally treats every opponent's possession as a chance for a steal. Yeah, he's reading the defense so well, and I think this year, especially in the playoffs, it's just going to be so beneficial because he took film seriously always, but they were talking about how he's been watching on his phone. I think he's going to figure out the offense of other teams faster, and he's going to give them problems. He's absolutely going to give them problems. I love how AT made it so easy. Stay aggressive, AT. Yeah, I've always hated Houston, but I root for a man because I love Assar. Yeah, I've seen Houston a couple times this season play the Nuggets, and it's like I cheer for the Nuggets and a man. That's basically it. And then everyone else I cheer against. Yeah, first team all defense, absolutely easy. So he's getting more forceful. Assar's just been so fun. Just some plays I wrote down that he had, even though we just went through the stat line. In the first, he had his dunk, strong finish. He had the steal attempt with Rollins where he got on the floor. This was pretty early in the game. He got on the floor with Ryan Rollins and was trying to steal it. Ended up getting off of Rollins' foot, which I was like, that's a kickball. But Jericho Sims, I believe, got it back and was able to score off of it, but the effort was there. The steal to Cade dunk again. In the second, he had the block and save on Rollins' corner 3. Yeah, just a nightmare in that corner 3. He blocked it, kept it in bounds, and saved it on the perimeter and threw it into a person. You know, Sass, the last game, his 2 turnovers were both blindside kind of like saves, and you just can't be doing that at this point in the season. I don't like when anyone in the NBA does it. Just let it kind of go out of bounds and reset, because then you can at least, you know, set up your defense for that. But the fact that Assar, again, just toeing the line, it's incredible. He had a block on Rollins to force a shot clock violation on the perimeter. Lob to Cade up court in the third. That was Jokic level. I was like, what are you doing? He threw it up court, and it came to Cade's. Cade caught it one-handed and got it in, which is just so impressive to do. And you have to get that spot on. If it's any higher, it's done. If it's any lower, it's done. So very incredible assist there. Like, his 4 assists were nice tonight. And again, another assist to Cade at the basket. I feel like all of his assists were to Cade. He did so good. McLemore says, Assar is a problem. I can't wait for the playoffs. We ready? 7 guys in double figures in a blowout. Absolutely. And the Bucks still played hard. So, and the thing is, again, after the Magic game, you might sense some that we, you know, our heads aren't in it. And they definitely proved us wrong tonight with that. So just so fun. Incredible game from Assar. He's just going to be so exciting to watch these last few games and in the playoffs. He's a huge reason why we face some of these teams. Like, I'm very curious to see how he plays on Friday against the Hornets. I actually won't be here. I'm so sad, which is another reason why I made sure I was here tonight, even if I was sick. Because, guys, I have Denver OKC, and I can't pass that up. So I have to go to Denver OKC on Friday. But I'll be watching the Hornets for as much as I can. But I'm so curious the trouble that he gives their 3-point shooters. You know, LaMelo and Khan can throw it from far, but I want to force that from them. I want to force them to have to put up a logo 3 if they get anything. So, and I think just seeing what he can do on Friday, how he finished out the season, he's just, again, going into the postseason so incredibly confident, which is all you can ask from him. His defense has been stellar. I'm excited. I'll have to look up some of his steal stats too. Like Sella mentioned, I'm just kind of in awe with it all. He was presented too at the game with his Defensive Player of the Month award, his second. And that's just a hard thing to second for the East. I think Wemby has 3 for the West, so which is understandable, but he deserves all that recognition and more, and I hope he continues to get it. He just played lockdown defense tonight and made no errors on the offensive end. So yeah, Denver versus OKC is like a heavyweight clash. Yeah, I don't know how far the Spurs are behind OKC. I don't know if OKC has to like super try, but I know Denver has to try. I know that OKC's bench is going to be fun regardless, so it'll be a good game. Yeah, that's going to be a good game, boss. I don't blame you. Yeah, that's going to be a good game. I don't think OKC will play his starters because they should clinch the West by then. Yeah, it just depends. I don't know. The Spurs were 3 games behind, and there's 3 games remaining, so I don't see them playing, like you said, their starters. I think Shea is kind of on the fence for awards as well, so he might be forced to play 20 minutes. Or they might play because it is going to be a potential matchup. Or they might want to knock Denver down to 4th because the Denver Nuggets took they took the Lakers spot at 3rd for home court advantage. So they might want to knock them down to 4th. I don't know. We'll see. But again, even if I get to see some of their bench players, that's going to be fun. But yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Assar. Hopefully Deuce comes soon, only because I want to hear his input on these guys as well, even though I'm sure he was obviously enjoying the game. But you guys know sometimes when you watch in person, it's a little bit harder to see everything. You see the good, but you don't necessarily remember everything. That's why I take notes. What up, though, Tom? Thanks for being here, Tom. Deuce is going to be here soon, too. You'll have to come say hi. He'll sing for you because I cannot. So I think that Shea is already eligible. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. You could be right where he has to play. He's eligible if he plays the rest of the season. I don't know. So is Peyton Watson still injured? He had a breakout year. Yeah, he re-injured his hamstring. He came back for a game, re-aggravated it. So he's out, but hopefully he'll be back for playoffs. He's having so much fun. I saw him singing on Pistons Instagram. Yeah, guys, he made the story. He was singing Detroit basketball on there, showing off his voice. One day I want to see him out there for the anthem or for some halftime entertainment. The doors are just opening for Deuce. You guys know Detroit and its people are so incredibly talented musically as well. So it's just very cool to see. All right. We'll move on. Michael says, too, that he'll be catching up quick. Plenty of players to talk about. I've already had you guys here for an hour, and I appreciate you all very, very much. So we'll move on to Tobias Harris. Tobias tonight had 23 minutes, had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He also had a steal and a block for 2 stocks, 3 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3, 2 free throws, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 turnovers. I love his rebound split of 3 and 2, 3 offensive, 2 defensive, because I think that's where he kind of showed up tonight. It was a little bit tough finding a shot, especially early. He had a couple ugly ones. One was like a air ball, one was kind of off the rim, off the backboard. Didn't look that pretty, but then he got going, made some key shots later on. Still looked like Tobias. We didn't necessarily need him tonight. He's been stepping up for these guys that are out. And tonight he just got to play Tobias Harris basketball. He had the block on Prince at the rim, which was awesome. That was early on. He blocked him. I don't know if it was from behind, but forced that turnover there. And in the third, he got a technical foul, which I think is just hilarious because I love when our guys just really speak their minds. And, he's not going to get disqualified. It wasn't going to kill the momentum of the game or anything. And if anything, we just continue to fire us up. And he spoke his words. I think he was just not liking he got called for the offensive foul, a little bit of a push or something like that. But I think just arguing what Greg Kelser was saying earlier and George Blaha is that the offense, even on the Bucks tonight, was giving away with some off arms. So, it was kind of the elbow to the chest, which was a little bit of a flop, but Tobias was definitely bigger and used his size. So could have been a no call, but they called it on him. So Tobias, I don't have a lot to say about him because, it was a solid game. and you know that he's going to show up when we need him to. We just didn't need him to tonight. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything amazing, but again, he played defense. I love the steal on the block so much when you see that Unk do that. And he also had his famous social media post, I think yesterday, might have been this morning, but he posted these videos that he makes. He claims he makes them, and I'm not going to doubt it. He's got vision. So that's very cool of him as well. Oh, sorry, guys. Deuce said he'd be back within an hour so I could save my voice. He's almost here. I'm sure of it. So I really appreciate you all for that too, for not only coming here, listening to me talk in an environment that I'm not necessarily as used to yet as Deuce, while I'm also trying to just catch my breath and stuff. So again, I can't even extend my gratitude enough. Thank you. It means a lot to me, but I know it means a ton to him as well, because he built this channel, and we love all of you. Deep breath. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Tobias. You guys notice anything? I think he's, I mean, he kicked the ball out of bounds once, but he's good. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we just didn't need him to show. I feel like if we needed him, like, you know, if for some reason the Bucks were giving us issues and we needed him to turn it on in any way, he absolutely would have. Again, he did finish with 5 rebounds, which is tied with tied for 3 other Pistons. 4 Pistons got 5 rebounds tonight, and that's the second most in the game. It was really spread out. So you just truly love to see that as well. But I hope that we get to see a little bit more of him. But he's someone, you know, he was coming off of rest as well, and he's someone that I wouldn't be surprised if they rest him a little bit going into the playoffs, because we know what he can do. He's a vet. He doesn't. Of course, I want to keep him, you know, warmed up, but he's kind of one of the guys that I trust coming off not warm. So yeah, that's why I'm with Tobias. Okay, guys, last starter for JD. Let me find my notes on him real quick. They should be right here. Oh, there they are. Okay, Jalen Duran, guys. He had in just under 28 minutes, 21 points on 9 rebounds. Almost a double-double. He deserved it. 3 assists, 1 block, 8 of 9 shooting. That's 89%. He continues his trend. I think he was 7 of 9 last game. Like 9, I guess, is his field goal attempt sweet spot, but the efficiency is just ridiculous, JD. It's just unbelievable. He was 5 of 7 from the free throw line for 71%. He had some tough free throws last game as well. He might also not be feeling 100%. I told Deuce as well, like if he had anything close to what I had, I know he's an athlete. Like the last thing I want to do is go play basketball right now with my breathing. So maybe he's just a little bit off there, but he did get a few and ones as well, which was just huge. Love his split. 6 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive. So he kept the play alive. Huge. 1 turnover, only 1 foul. He had our highest plus minus for those that like that stat at 24. I like it when it's positive, you know. I don't give it any thought when it's negative. But man, JD, again, pumped up the crowd with the Detroit basketball. He's definitely excited to be here. He's definitely, you guys had mentioned it too. With Cade gone, he's stepped up into the role of just keeping everybody motivated and involved. You can tell that he's kind of stepped into this role of like, I'm a Detroit Piston and this is my team and I'm proud of it sort of role. And that's huge. Some plays of his that I loved. He had the block on Rollins off the backboard early. Man, Rollins got blocked a lot tonight. Poor kid. Offensive rebound in the second to the and 1 bucket. That was at the end. He was just fighting for that and then got through 2 defenders and got the and 1, which is just fun to watch. I think finishing quarters is something that we've struggled with this season, and minus the Magic, the last couple of games we've been finishing it very strong. So I super love to see that. In the fourth, he had that slam basically from the free throw line. Cade got it to him and he just did some fancy footwork and he started to run, and I think it was Rollins. It could have been someone else, but basically just got out of the way. There was someone in the paint, much smaller. They just saw JD and they said, nah, And JD just took it all the way for just a slam, a monster dunk, I believe, or monster jam is what Blaha called it. He said he saw that a lot today. So very, very, I mean, and again, to get 21 and 9 in 28 minutes, this is something that these are like his stat lines in full games for a while. And still in a full game, I would not be mad at this stat line at all. And his usual, closer to 32, 35 minutes. But he has just been so aggressive and he really took advantage. The Bucks didn't really have an answer for him at that center position. Yeah, Jericho Sims, I'm sorry, but Jericho Sims had a triple-double tonight. That's crazy. As I'm just looking at those. But just the fact that Duran definitely took advantage of the competition. And again, I think it's going to be interesting Friday. Are you guys excited? He's going to go up against like Musa Diabate, who has been chirping. And he's been involved in some other altercations after that. And so I think Duran's going to come out and prove a point because I think that he can absolutely run over those guys as well, especially if the Hornets are a matchup for us first round, even second round, because if we don't get them first round, they could give the Celtics a problem. Or if they're 6, they give the other teams problems too. So I don't know. But I think the center position in the paint is definitely how, as with our defense, is how we beat a team that just throws up threes all the time. Obviously a perimeter defense, but I think JD has a huge advantage in the paint. And we didn't get to see a lot of JD and Stu against them because of those ejections and suspensions. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Hope that JD rests tomorrow. Well, he will rest tomorrow because we don't have a game. But Friday, possibly. I think he has to finish out. I think he has enough, but I'm sure he wants to finish with enough games for consideration as well. Sharita, yeah, I've been worried about this game considering what happened last time. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We just can't let, I think, like I said, Musa, Miles Bridges, some of these guys out here are the instigators. And we just can't be instigated. And Stu said that he learned from his suspension that he, of course, God, it seems so long ago. Like, do you remember it was like the news, the talk of the NBA? Like, Trajan was on podcasts talking about it. Like, that was crazy. But I think that Stu will be a little bit more in control. And I think JD will still play, but Stu will get some minutes, maybe similar to tonight. I hope a little bit more. But, good to see Tyrese Halliburton played his first 5-on-5 scrimmage. Wow. That's exciting. I miss Tyrese Halliburton for the NBA. Tyrese is someone that I've gone on like both ups and downs with. So that's really exciting to see. Sorry guys, running out of breath here. But let's see. Pistons are officially number 1 in dunks 2 seasons in a row. Wow. I love that. Thanks for sharing that stat. I believe it for sure. It doesn't surprise me. And real quick, that guy on the Hornets got mushed by JD and realized how big JD's hands were compared to his head. I think we're okay. I completely forgot that JD pushed him in the face. Completely forgot that. So that's super on point. It's gonna be a good game. Let me see. Deuce, I see Deuce down here. Deuce, do you need me to add you to the stage? Or are you coming? I don't know what that means. I add you? Okay. There we go. Whoops. Oh, I see. I see what I did here. There we go.
There we go. What up, though? What's up, everybody?
It's Deuce. You got to sing for them because I couldn't.
Y'all need me to sing? Man, my voice is gone. I'm going to try, though. Detroit basketball. What up, everybody? What up, man? Sorry I am late. I just got back from LCA. First and foremost, everybody, let's give a huge shout out to Boss, man, for holding it down in my absence in her flu game. Yeah. She was like on meds all day, on the Dayquil, the Benadryl, all drugged up, man. But she came through for your boy. So everybody drop some love for Boss for holding it down, man.
Thank you,
Boss,
guys.
if you need to take a break, you can do that. I know you've probably been going on for like the last hour. I heard you like gasping for air on the way home. So
yeah, just again, like I said, it's like I'm just gonna run out of breath here. But everyone was so patient with me. So shout out to you guys again. Appreciate you.
What I miss?
Yeah,
What I miss? Catch me up, y'all. What's
I
going on in the
just
chat, man? I see y'all in the chat. What up, though? What up, chat? Missed y'all, man. Good to be
we
back
just
home,
finished.
man.
We just finished. I just finished JD, so I just finished the starters. So if you want to go off and do your summary of the game or the starters, go
Okay.
for it, and I'll just
Like,
take some breaths.
I'm gonna keep it a stack, man. I don't have any notes. Like tonight downtown. So guys, shout out to the Pistons, man. They really looked out. They had us in the VIP suite for certain content creators, a private event. It was just dope to be down there. Got a chance to meet up with a bunch of people that I know. PL Official, who's my guy, who does Pistons anthems, Detroit anthems, period, U of M, all that stuff. Shout out to Pistons Talk, who was there. Shout out to Easy. Shout out to Philip Pistons. Shout out to Chris. Everybody who was there, man. Just shout out to everybody who was there. This was a great event, man. The Pistons looked out. They gave me a nice little care package to go care package. So I'm gonna see if I can get it on screen if I can find it where I put it. I just got back home. So, but yeah, I don't have any notes from this game. I just thought this was a game they should have won for sure. I saw the injury report and saw like all the starters were out for the Bucks. I'm like, yeah, we got to get this deal for sure. And we did. It was a fun game to watch. I was kind of pulled in a bunch of different directions, so I couldn't really focus on the game like I wanted to, which is why I like watching from home. But it's always good to be at LCA for sure. Shout out to the Pistons, man. They shouted me out on their social, on IG, on the Detroit Pistons page, was on there. So it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun, boss. Got a shout out to Tamara, shout out to Tiana, Olivia, Marissa, everybody, man, who looked out to get me down there, get me and Shan down there. Shan was my photographer tonight. She was on duty and she did not disappoint. Love her to death. Shout out to my parents for watching the boys for us so we could even get down there. Just everybody who helped us get this done, man. We really appreciate it. As far as the game, man, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Like, I don't know where you guys left off, but Cade is back. Stu is back. Cade gave me a little scare early. Like, come on, bro. We already getting started. What's going on, man?
Elbow to the chest. I'm like, bro, use your hands at the bare minimum.
Yeah. I see y'all in the chat too. What up, Fat Kism? Everybody who was there, man. Yes, for sure. Opposite side of the screen. Oh, is that throwing you off, bro?
Yeah, he's throwing me off too a little bit.
Man, what's up, dudes? Yeah, what's going on, Michigan Hendo, Zolar, everybody, man. That was fun. Yeah, so it was good to see. It was just good to see K back in the court. Okay, it was good to see back in the court. First of all, I wasn't really concerned about his numbers in this game. I just wanted him to get through this game without incident. That literally was because I was surprised he actually came back this soon. Like a lot of us were hoping for like game one in the playoffs. Maybe that was the hope. So for him to be back already this soon, I was kind of like, all right, because we've heard about these, collapsed lungs at times. If it gets re-aggravated because you come back too soon, it can flare up again. We saw CJ McCollum go through it a few times, other guys. So I'm just glad that he was able to get through this game without incident. That's the main thing from him. And he, double. First game back. It wasn't perfect. You could see some little rust. That's normal. You expect that. But I thought he played well considering. It looked like he was on a minute restriction. I think Danis came in for him at the 7-minute mark. So I'm like, okay, minute restriction. I like it. Let's just get his feet wet, get him back, to a lather, get him back into a rhythm. And that happened. That happened for sure, man. So that was, for me, with Cade, that's the only thing. Just get through this game without having to leave early because of an incident. He did that. He looked good. That block he had was ridiculous. We were up a ton of points 31. And he's still playing hard. Yeah, still playing hard. That's what I'm talking about. That's pissing. That told me he was okay. I always tell you guys, I can tell how Cade is feeling. Yeah. Not by how many points he's scoring, not by his playmaking, but by his defense. Is he giving the effort that we are accustomed to seeing defensively? And he did that for sure. So that was great. So with Cade, that was it. As far as Dunk, I think I saw a comment from Mike, if I'm not mistaken, as I was scrolling, say, can Deuce put Kevin Huerter starting to bed? Listen, Dunk balled out. Yeah. Dunk balled out tonight. I don't have in the box. Let me see. Do I have box scores up? Yeah, I think Dunk played pretty good in this game. Oh, yeah. Really efficient. I think he had like 20 points and he shot 50% from three, something crazy.
Yeah, he was 4 of 8 from 3. And 8 of 13 overall for 62.
Yeah, so Mike, he was great. Listen, I still just want to see how it looks with Huerter. Just to see. Because I'm like, Dunk balled out, but I feel like a lot of these guys should have balled out considering the Bucks played their B team tonight with all their starters out. So it's like you should have played well in this game, but that's not to take away from what he did because he still played well. So I got to give Dunk credit for doing what we expect him to do. I think he has been, I think he's been a pleasant surprise
Yes.
for all of us, because it was a blow when we lost, who we lost this offseason and guys like that and final replacements. It was tough, but I think he has kind of answered the call when he's been here, and all the time he's been. He's given us everything and more that we would expect from Duncan Robinson with his role, and I thought he was great. I thought he was great there. So no complaints from Dunk. He was good in this game. As far as Assar is, that's why I call him Tasmanian Thompson. He's like literally the backbone of the defense. He's insane. He's insane, man. Once the offense starts to catch up, and it's already slowly but surely incrementally getting there, but I think as he gets more and more comfortable, we're going to see Assar's best days are definitely ahead of him. They're definitely ahead of him for sure. He's just scratching the surface. Go ahead, boss. Go ahead. Get in there.
Basically, what I said is what was nice. Obviously, his defense was crazy. 2 steals, 2 blocks. He had a couple that he tried. Like he had the one on Rollins. That he just, the defense was there. But he had strong finishes again tonight. Multiple, dunks. Multiple decisive finishes is what we talked about. So, which I think was just so fun. And I did mention he did shoot a 3 and an air ball, but the next possession, Ryan Rollins airballed a 3. So and that kid can shoot 3. So it's like
he's a good player. Ryan Rollins is a good player. Shout out to Coach Hart.
Yep.
Another client of Coach Hart. Another guy that really had to get it out the mud and is going to be one of the pillars now for this team, especially considering what's going on with Giannis, how that's up in the air. I think Ryan Rollins is going to be one of those guys that is going to really find a home with them and be able to be an impact player for them too. So
no matter what that's what I said too. No matter if the rebuild includes Giannis, they're going to go through a rebuild, whether it's with Giannis on the team or without. I would have Ryan Rollins right up there to build around.
For sure. Yeah, good player. Tobias, thought he was solid as well. It was a few plays. It was a few plays in the break where I was just like, this isn't going to work out well. I think one play he got stripped and it bounced off his hip and it out of bounds. It was like, okay.
Because the ball's next to him.
Because he dribbles like this, like you always say, to the side. Yeah. He was okay. He wasn't. Go ahead.
He got a tech.
Oh, that's we don't see that too often. What was it for?
They called it an offensive foul because he was driving and bumping into his guy, and he did have the arm out. I can see why it's an offensive. It got overturned because they challenged it, but the guy was smaller than him, and he kind of flailed back. I could see both ways. It looked like a sell, but it also looked like Tobias was just bigger and stronger. So I think he was arguing that they're using their off arms as well on their side, which is what Blaha and you get to hear them tonight, but Blaha and Kelser brought that up as well, that they're just surprised that that's a part of the NBA now. Yeah. So I think he was just arguing with the ref and just didn't shut up. And I mean, he had nothing to lose. So
yeah. JD is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
JD's ridiculous. He's insane. I want to give him credit. Now that Cade is back, I feel like he and Dennis Jenkins were the leaders while Cade was out. On the court, off the court, picking up the slack, just saying, hey, we got it. Like I always reference, remember the Titans, the movie, when the star quarterback got hurt, broke his hand, and then Sunshine, sunshine. Y'all remember that movie? Came in and was like, hey, I got this, man. Don't worry. I feel like JD and Danis really did that for this team while Cade was out. I think they were 8-3 with Cade out during the stretch. Just impressive stuff, man. Just continuing to show how good this team is, without Cade. We know Cade is, integral to us really going the distance as far as where we want to go this year and beyond. But it's just nice to see, despite him not being available, we didn't fall apart. Like Nick Young said we would. Give up, first place by April and only win 3 games without Cade. We had 3 losses without Cade, not 3 wins, which is ridiculous. So this team is a special team already, and we're nowhere near complete. So, and JD is a big part of that, man. He 8 for 9 again. Like, this is not normal.
It's just the stat line, and then consider the minutes, because this was his normal stat line in the beginning of the season, playing full starter minutes. Yeah. You look at his minutes tonight, and you're like, oh, almost a double-double. But then you see in the time he did it, you're just like, dang.
Yeah. He's insane, man.
Yeah.
I think there was his shot making too. Like he's just really a really talented player. I think Tobias put up a air ball when he took a shot from the baseline, a little midi, and JD caught it midair and put it off glass.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Made it look easy.
Yep.
Like this dude is, and he's 22 years old. It's absolutely ridiculous tonight, man. What he has done. So I just want to shout him out for being a leader for this team on and off the court, at 22 years old, the things that he's doing at this age is absolutely insane. Like the ceiling for this team is just so high, boss. It's so high.
I know.
And I don't want us to take for granted what we're seeing right now. I do not want us to take it for granted. So I just got to give those guys a lot of credit. Sorry, but Shannon is kicking my bag over here to me so I can show you guys what I got tonight.
Because Tom just asked, Deuce, what'd you get tonight aside from that awesome jacket? This is about to make me very excited for Deuce and also very jealous, just so you guys know.
Oh man, boss. I wish you could have been there with me, man. You would have had a blast. Like when you're here, we're gonna have a lot of fun. For game 1 of the playoffs, guys, boss is supposed to be here. Tom is gonna be here, Jack is gonna be here. So it's gonna be a blast, man, when we're all linked up. But so here's what I got. So guys, I got this poster.
Woo!
This is our Thompson poster. Signed. I think can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yep. Right there. That was fire. They hooked me up with that. The Pistons really looked out for me, man. Like they really gifted us some nice thing. I got a jacket.
Oh yeah.
Customized with my name on it.
Ooh.
Right there.
Oh, that's clean.
Right. So they got me that. What else? Also got autographed hats.
Oh man.
Sorry,
who's
autographed
that?
hat.
JD?
Sorry, I believe this is sorry. And then I got this one as well. I may yeah. This is ridiculous. This playoff one is ridiculous. It's just nice to see a playoff Pistons hat. It's fire. So that yeah, got some nice little cups and stuff like that. But no, it was fire. It was fire. Yeah, Tom's gotten gifts before from the Pistons, so he knows what's up.
Shopping spree from the Pistons.
Tom got everything, bro.
As deserved.
Tom got the whole hookup. Of course, absolutely. Yeah, Tom is integral to what we do here, man. Like he's a huge part. Him, Jack, everybody. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out the Pistons, man, for looking out for your boy for sure. I'm looking forward to doing more in Boston and having Boss here with me to go ahead and do some more for sure. Yeah. Back to the game, boss. Let's see. Who else we got? We talked about JD. Did you get to any reserves yet?
Nope. I was just about to start that when you came back on.
Okay.
So I briefly touched on, if you want to touch on it again, I know you guys think it's already been an hour and a half, so appreciate everyone being here. But I touched on Tolu's contract as well.
Yeah, man. I'm so happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
I am so happy for Tulu Smith. I know you reached out to him and he popped back at you in the DM and say,
Well, he just liked my story. He saw my story, just supporting him, and I just talked about how I it's deserved, but you can go on too. But I just wanted some people in the comments were like, but Deuce is probably so sad about Bobby. So I said I wouldn't speak for you, but
yeah. I was sad. So like with Bobby, guys, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. You guys know I have been a huge Bobby fan. The Samuel was a huge Tolu fan. Samuel was a huge Dennis Jenkins fan. The summer before last during Summer League, 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and I was just excited about what I saw from Bobby as far as his ability. And I think at the time, like looking at where we are now, it's just like this team has progressed so much from that point, that it's not just about talent, it's about fitting the identity of this team. And I think guys like Tolu just fit a little bit better because they had to waive somebody and make room for Tolu, and they had to come at the expense of somebody. And I just feel like now, because we're so much more talented of a team from then to now, and because we have a real identity from then to now, because that was coming off the 14-win season. That was coming off the 14-win season. So like the expectation was low. Not saying that they weren't good players, that he's not a good player, but it's just when you start to see this team kind of craft who they are identity-wise and what they're trying to do, it just makes sense to me if there was going to be a guy that was a guy. It doesn't take away his talent, because I think he's a very talented player. It just didn't translate. And we've said it all season, guys. Like, I just want to see a little bit more dog from Bobby. Just want to see a little bit more dog. And I just really didn't see it transfer for him. So I whiffed on that one. I thought he was going to be a backup forward coming into this season, right? That was what I said. I'm on record. Y'all know I call myself out when I'm wrong. I call it out. So I whiffed on that one. But, hopefully for him, he's able to find a home somewhere. I do think he may not be ready yet. But I think with some crafting, just keep working, he may have a shot somewhere else in the NBA. But I am glad Tolu got a contract, man. Like, if you guys saw his reaction, man, I got a chance to talk to him briefly, and he was just like, thanks, I appreciate your support. That's love. Yeah, man, just showing him support. And he's really happy, man. Like he he said he almost broke down and started crying. He let his mom know. He let his grandma know. Here's the thing, guys. If you guys saw the interview I had with him last summer, when he didn't get drafted on draft night, he said he had his grandma there, he had his mother there with him, and to not hear his name was tough, because it wasn't a lot of big or talented bigs in his draft, and he thought he might get drafted, so it didn't happen for him. Something went off in his mind, like I gotta take it up. Like he didn't blame anybody else. He didn't blame any teams for not taking him. He just said, okay, I gotta step my game up, and when I do, what needs to happen will happen. So that really was good for him, just to take it up a notch and to stay focused. So for him to get to this point now, to be able to have those same people on him on draft night when he didn't get drafted, to be able to make that call to them, those same people, his mom, his grandma, his family, and be able to say, guys, it happened. I got the contract. I'm in the NBA. I'm moving forward. We're here. That is a special moment for him. And he's earned it because he's worked his tail off in the summer league, worked his tail off with the crews and in the NBA when getting the opportunity. Because it's hard. When you don't get consistent minutes and opportunity, it's hard to be able to earn a spot in the league. So for him to be able to still do that says a lot about his work ethic and how much work he put in to get here and to stay here.
Yeah, there's a lot of success stories from the G League. I think it's becoming more popular, and we were just talking about how the Crews. We had a little bit earlier in the show about how the Crews, it's just being beneficial having such a talented G League team to pick from too. But like guys like Alex Caruso, who is kind of like, people know Alex Caruso and what he can do. He started in the G League. We've had Ben Wallace for us, was undrafted.
Yes.
So the talent is there. And I just want to address this real quick because I think you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday too. Tom says, kind of broke my heart still that he got waived, but credit to Trajan. He admitted that he got that draft pick wrong and cut ties early. Bobby is one of his first picks ever.
Yes.
And that is, I think, again, it's just like Deuce said, it was just kind of style of play. I said earlier in the show, like both of these guys, I think can succeed in the NBA in the right environment. And this just wasn't the right environment for Bobby. Yeah. But I agree with Tom here in that I think it's better to, not wait on potential and kind of, and understand that, look, also Tolu, I think does fit in better. And here he signed him. With the Jenkins and Tolu signings being 2 years, but team options, they basically got two very talented guys for pretty cheap while we decide what we need to do to even improve from this season into next year. So I got to shout out Trajan again because he is new and people that we've questioned, people have questioned his Ron Holland pick. People have questioned the trade that happened this season, and we've had to seen it play out in positive ways. So
yeah. So I'm happy for Tolu, man, and Miyuki. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Shout out to Polly, man. Shout out to him for sure for getting that done, man. That's major. So now he can kind of breathe easy and just focus on getting better now. So that's all I got on Tolu, man.
Some people are real quick are just asking how much. Do you know the terms of that contract?
I don't think they've been released yet.
Yeah.
I don't think they've been released yet. Yeah. All I know is that it's a 2-year for second-year team option. So I would imagine he's going to be here next year. I think they're going to probably exercise that option because it's like he probably won't get a ton of opportunity this playoffs to really make or break kind of thing. So I think it's more so just like he's going to be insurance for sure this playoff run, and then going into next year, I think as long as he continues to work hard the rest of this year, he's going to be here next year because he is familiar with this team. He's been with this team for a couple years. He knows the guys. They know him. They like him. He knows the system because he's played so many games with the G League, with the Motor City Crews, and they run a lot of the same things. Those programs kind of have a synergy about them. So a lot of the same sets and schemes. He understands all that. So the comfortability factor, I think, for the Pistons is kind of what made it easier for them to bring him back because they know him and he knows them and they know what to expect from him. So I think it just makes sense for everybody.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, boss.
Do you want to get into some reserves then?
Yeah, let's do it. Is it
okay if you take that over a little bit? Because I'm going to try to rest my voice a bit. I'll let you drink that water
real quick. Yeah.
Again, I appreciate you guys. This was fun. It definitely, from my first time I did it in the beginning of the season when you went to some games, I felt a lot more comfortable because, again, I've gotten to know you guys. You guys show incredible support. But it's still props to what you do because sometimes I'm just like, it feels like, I'm talking to you, chat, but it's also like, I have to
It's
keep
a
track.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot when it's two of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
so when it's just, that's why I wanted to just shout you out, boss, because I know you don't do this
Appreciate
by
you.
yourself too often. She did it, I think, once was it earlier this year? I think you did it once by yourself.
Yeah, once
Absolutely
or twice.
killed it when I was
But
on the
it
way
was
home. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Tom said we gotta have a pre-post game drink after game one, bro. Just like when you were here earlier this year, bro. We gotta go back to Harry's. You know what I'm saying? Got to do the post game. Got to have you on and all that, like we did earlier this year. If you guys didn't see that, we had a blast. That was
Tom,
a lot
and
of
I told
fun.
you I want to watch some playoff basketball on Saturday too. You guys are gonna have to send where
Facts.
to watch what the best sports places in Detroit. I need to know. We gotta go.
Yeah, absolutely. My son's going crazy in the background. He woke up
I
out of
hear.
nowhere. We just got home. 15 years we got here, so now he's
He
up there
sensed
talking to the
it.
storm. Yeah,
That's what happens. They sense it. They're like, oh, they're home.
time to cause a ruckus per
Yeah.
usual. Yeah, go ahead, do your thing, boss. I'm gonna just let's start with let me pull up my notes here because I don't have any, so I'm just gonna run through the actual box score.
Yeah, I do. I know that it was tough for you too. So if you do the box score, I pretty much have notes on everybody too.
Okay,
so.
cool. I'm gonna just run from the top what they have for the box score. Let's go Paul Reed first, boss. Guys, tonight Paul Reed had 10 points, 4-4 shooting, 2 or 3 from the line, 3 boards, 1 assist, and a block in 10 minutes. So once again, Paul Reed, per usual, is efficient whenever he plays. And boss, no turnovers.
No
I know
turnovers.
you usually have a customary
He usually gets
notation
one
about that.
game.
Didn't happen
Yeah.
tonight.
Usually he has his standard one that I'm like, doesn't count if it's standard. That's just efficiency at this point. But he just gave it to Stu. He gifted it. But yeah.
What'd you see from him? What'd you like?
Like you said, the 4-4 shooting. Come on, B-ball. He had it in the third. So he didn't play for the first half. So again, he played only 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, 9 minutes and 40 seconds. A point a minute kind of guy as usual. He had an and one creating his own offense. He recognized the mismatch when he came in, turned around, saw someone short on him, did some fancy footwork and got the ball in and got the foul call. Yeah. He was hustling for offensive boards. So he had 3 rebounds. I bet that they're okay. So 2 offensive, 1 defense. Because I was like, I bet that they're all offense, but hustling for those. He had in the fourth, he had a reverse off the glass over 2 defenders. Like he was facing the other way. And that's not the first time we've seen him do that either. And it just tells I'm loving the confidence, B-ball. I'm loving it. And then a jam to finish the game 4-4. Just an absolute dunk to finish the game 4-4. So again, not a lot of minutes, which I wasn't expecting. He's gonna fall out of the lineup a little bit with Stu back. Stu only played 10 minutes, and I think we'll see that go up closer to 20 anyways. But B-ball will definitely still be utilized in the playoffs. I just don't think we'll see him as often. But again, it seems like he kind of does his best. Like he has had moments, like obviously the Sixers game earlier this year, and when he's filled in for Stu, he's done fine. But he's also had some kind of off games when it's that role. And it feels like he's a little bit like the microwave or like Sass last year, where it's just like he kind of goes all out when he's called in sporadically, shorter minutes. So I think that kind of just works in our favor a little bit going forward. But
I agree.
Again, super fun game for B-ball Paul.
Yeah, I'm kind of going off what you guys saw here because I didn't really catch a lot of B-ball Paul highlights in this game. Like I said, there was a lot going on, but I did see like little flashes here and there. I did like what Kevin said though. He could be 0-4 and he's still going to play. It's so many guys on this team that, contrary to what we see around the league, no shade, but it just is what it is. A lot of guys, their effort or their defense is often predicated on how their offense is going. You see a lot of guys when they don't have the shot going, when they're not getting enough touches, when they don't have a rolling that night, you'll see that impact them on the defensive side of the ball. You see them drop their head. They're not quite as locked in, and you see it affect the other side. Not with guys on this team. B-Ball Paul is a perfect example of that. But there's so many other guys that are just like that, especially off our bench, that just continue to play Pistons basketball. You think about Javonte Green, who doesn't even require or even necessarily want to take a lot of shots. He was play defense. Ron Holland, we always talk about him. He never drops his head. He's trying to play harder on defense when the offense isn't going for him. So we just got a lot of guys with the right mentality who play hard. And that alone can keep guys on the floor and can keep you in basketball games because we are a defensive team. So Kevin is 100% correct. Regardless of the offense, we know we can always hang our hat on defense. And B-Ball Paul is a perfect example of that, boss. Perfect example of that.
Agreed.
So that's all I got on him, man. Like I just love the way he plays the game. I
Yeah,
love the way he plays the game.
absolutely.
He's always playing hard. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going, guys. Let's go to. We talked about Tolu already. Let's go to Stu. You mentioned Stu. Let's go to Isaiah Stewart, guys. Dog Pound Senior has returned, man, and it's so nice to see him back on the court. He got a nice ovation, which was cool to see him get the ovation from everybody. Everybody's happy to see him. He had a little smile on his face. He tried to stay locked in, but you could tell he appreciated the ovation when they showed his face, and he was kind of like smiling. And he locked back in real quick, so that was cool. Guys, tonight in this game, he had 8 points on 3 of 3 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, 1 board, 2 turnovers in 11 minutes. So he didn't play a ton of minutes. He may also be on a minute restriction for now, which is understandable because he missed 13 games. Cade missed 10, I believe. So that's understandable. These guys are not going to be 100% coming back. They're not going to be playing the amount of minutes like you mentioned, boss. But once again, without incident, regardless of the stats, it's all I wanted to see from the guys who were out because we are going to need those guys come playoff time. So Stu, he just came back and did 2 things.
Yeah.
It's nice to see his shot falling. It's nice to see him in the paint being able to go right back to his role. He knows who he is through and through. He knows his role. He screens hard. He sprints down the court. He protects the paint. He rebounds. He finishes at the rim with either hand. He's just a guy. He's just an anchor. He's a defensive anchor. And offensively, he's becoming more and more reliable. So, yes, Mike, he looks healthy. The most important thing is that he looks healthy. I don't care what the stats were in this game for either of those guys. Really, any of these guys. As long as we get a dub, we play our style, and nobody gets hurt. That's all I care about right now. We want to be peaking at the right time. I think these injuries for Cade and Stu could be a blessing in disguise because those guys in particular are going to be very fresh. It's great because they didn't miss a ton of time either. To where it's like they got so much rest and there's so much rust that are they going to be able to get back up to speed during the playoffs? Right. Now I think we already see that both of these guys, Cade with the double-double, Stu playing the way he played tonight, they're going to be just fine. And they're going to be fresh, boss, come playoff time. We're not going to see these guys kind of getting, just kind of getting ran into the ground. They can play a lot of minutes. Like once they get back into form, they can play. Cade can play 35 minutes every night in the playoffs. Yeah. I think these 2 weeks off really gave him a chance to rejuvenate. Same thing for Stu. Just time to really heal. And one last thing on Stu, I really appreciated what he said pregame when he first in practice, actually. They were asking him about his awards and not being able to get the awards and things like that. He said he was tempted to come back early. He wanted to come back early so he could qualify for all NBA defense and stuff like that. But he also said that he understands that he needs to be available for the playoffs. Yeah. He wants to be available for his team. It ate at him last year, not being able to play. He said before the season started that he thought had he been available, that the series against the Knicks would have been a different outcome. And I think we all agree with that sentiment. But it absolutely killed him when B-Ball Paul got into the scuffle with Mitchell Robinson and Cat last year. He absolutely hated not being able to go out there and be there for his guy. Yeah. So I think for him, more important than the awards is just being able to be available for a deep playoff run. It just shows where his mind is at. Because he's deserved for the last 2 years to be all NBA defense. The last 2 years. And for him to, in the second year, have a shot at it, would say, you know what? What's more important? The awards or trying to go contest or contend for a championship and being available. So that just shows him and his mindset and what he's about. He's team. He's all about the team. That's great.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And that's what I said earlier too, is just with Stu, like the calf strain is just kind of no joke. We saw Duran and Grease. We saw other players try to fight through stuff like that and really terribly and take them out for a whole season.
Yes.
And so the best availability or the best ability is availability. So we don't want to see, of course we want our guys to be recognized for what they've done this season. Yeah. But we don't want the cost of that to be them not being able to play next season. Right. So, I mean, I just had 2 plays written down for Stu that I noticed. He had a stuffed dunk, just a dunk. And he backed.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah. He just stuffed it. It was his first basket of the game. And he,
I did see that. Okay. Yeah.
But what you probably didn't see is, and he did this a couple times, and I've seen Stu, like, this was new tonight, is that Stu got his defender behind him and backed him completely out of bounds. Like, just completely out of bounds, and then came and grabbed the ball. Like, I've seen him obviously be physical, but when he had a smaller guy on him, he just backed him away. which was super. Just I haven't seen that from him, or maybe he does try that, but he's just usually has a center on him too. So he had a nice reverse layup in the second. I wanted to see more Stu minutes. Cade definitely had, Cade almost had 15 minutes more than him, but I definitely, like you said, I wanted him to be available and healthy for the playoffs. And I think especially with him admitting that he felt like he wanted to come back earlier, he felt like he maybe could push through it.
Yep.
It just tells me that he's probably feeling literally the best he can feel. Exactly. And then there's just kind of no need, especially when we have guys like B-Ball to back him up right now. There's just no need for him to get that. And maybe we'll see him in more minutes these next few games than we'll see Cade, But Cade, I think, is also still trying to, because if he finishes these last 3 games over 20 minutes, he's at 64. But he might make an appeal.
Yeah.
He might make an appeal and just say this. I played the majority of the season. Things like that. And I don't know how the appeal system works. I don't think there's been an appeal yet with this new load management. So I don't know, but I think that they'll at least try it. And so he'll need to play at least 20 minutes for that.
Yeah.
And maybe playing a little bit more, like closer to 26. Maybe that's kind of setting up grounds for his appeal as well.
And
I'm doing more.
The thing, it's not like Cade was, if he does appeal and they go review it, they'll see he wasn't load managing throughout the season. It wasn't like he was just missing games here and there throughout. He played. So when you go down for a legitimate injury, come on, bro. Like there's got to be some.
Yeah. It was the early injury that kept him out for a few games in a row, and then he wasn't just randomly picking. He played aggressively. No. So we'll see. So I can see why. I can see that because maybe obviously want him to get in his form as well, but maybe they're just trying to ramp up a possible appeal. Who knows?
Yeah. Because to come one game short, like come on, like.
Especially if Luka and Wemby end up not making it either.
Yes.
And they
now you got more weight because now you got more stars.
Now you got more stars. So you're just like, who would you make first team? Who?
Right. Yeah. 100%.
It's gonna be the whole Nuggets roster. Well, except for one of the Jokic.
Miles just said, "There's no way Luka, Cade, and Wemby are eligible for postseason awards. Literally faces of the league, irrefutable top. Yeah, when it's
and Edwards as well, ineligible at this moment. Tyrese Maxey, ineligible at this moment.
Right.
All of those guys carry their team.
Yep. So to take that away, come on, man. So yeah, I agree with you, Bob. That's a good point. Hopefully he does appeal it and they're able to overturn that for sure. That's just not fair.
Yeah.
What up, Dom? Our guy Damadavi coming through, bro. What's up, man? I just got back, bro. So if you've been here for a while waiting on me, I apologize, but I got back as soon as I could, man. Sorry guys for getting back so late. I was speeding, in the words of Marion. But he says, glad to see Stu and Cade back. Yes, sir. But I've asked a couple people this question. Do you think with Tolu's new contract that it possibly means B-Ball could be added to a trade package in the offseason? I say no. I think Tolu is the 4th big, and I think he is solidified as the 4th big behind JD, Stu, B-Ball, Paul, and then I think you got Tolu at the 4th big. So that's how I see it. I think they like B-Ball Paul's versatility of being able to play either big spot. Like he can play the power forward or he can play the center. Tolu's a center. He's a footer. Like he's a legit throwback, old school, physical, just center. He's not a stretch. He's just a paint guy. He can rebound the basketball, can block shots, protect the rim. He's just that kind of a guy. He can finish. So I think B-Ball Paul is definitely going to be the 3rd big, and then Tolu's going to be the 4th big for sure. Boss, go ahead.
Yeah, and B-Ball Paul is also cheap, and we have him contracted for 1 more year. It'd almost be at the price that we have him. It'd almost be kind of silly to give him up. And I just do think that Trajan, it's not even because I said this earlier too, and I hope I'm right. We don't know. We don't know for sure, but I do hope that I'm right. That I don't think it means anything for anyone else on their team, especially since they waived, someone like Bobby who wasn't getting minutes at all. Like I think he's just amping up for the playoffs and he's just being extra prepared. We just talked about how Stu has to, God forbid Stu re-aggravates or Stu can't play as long as we need him to. Right. And we saw it last year. We saw guys get into foul trouble. Like, I think it's just making our roster, our entire eligible roster, as strong as possible.
Exactly.
So that's kind of where I'm. And again, like you said, it's a team option to where he might not, we don't need him. Like the team him and Jenkins are both on it's not guaranteed next year. I think Jenkins will stay for sure, and I hope that Tolu does. Again, I think that it's just smart to bring in young talent cheap. It's kind of Sam Presti-esque.
Right.
But if that was the move, then they wouldn't risk losing Tolu second year as well.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
They would lock him in. So
Dom also says the reason I ask is because a lot of teams will want Paul as their bench pick. Well, the thing is, we have him here, like we said, until through next season. So that's a problem for next off season. But I think between now and next year, he's locked up here.
I don't think it's going to happen next off season, but there is going to be an expansion draft in the next coming years.
Yeah.
And B-ball in the mock-ups, B-ball's who teams are going for. So this might be also prepping for that. I don't think that's happening under this current. I don't think that would happen by the time his contract is up with us or anything. But
that's like 2-3 years out. Yeah.
Again, it's just locking in some talent because also Tolu could be taken by another team too.
Yeah, but you got a guy who brings you that much value, and the contract doesn't match the value. That's not a guy you're looking to trade. I think that's the reason why he'll be here, because it's a value contract for sure. It's a bargain really for B-Wall Paul. With a few of these guys, it's a bargain. Even with Stu, $15 million a year for Stu is ridiculous. Like when he signed the deal initially, I think this is year 3. I think next year is the 4th year, or maybe the year after. But when he first signed the contract, everybody's like, $15 million for Stu, and now you're like, man, $15 million, that's it. So even for him, that's value. That's ridiculous value. We got an all NBA defender making $15 million.
Well, and that's what
ridiculous.
We talked about too, because then we'll move on because we don't know all the answers. But if Cade and if JD gets these awards, he's eligible for money. If Assar gets depoy, he's eligible for money. Like, so then we got to pay 3 guys that are very deserving of their pay,
but it's still got to pay them.
So then then we've got to, when we pay guys more, we have to be a little bit more smart with other contracts, and signing on some of this young talent cheap now could be beneficial later.
Right.
As well,
and I do like how Trajan is looking ahead. Like he's looking ahead. He's got a vision long term. He's setting himself up for the future outside of just this year. And we see a lot of teams, they play great. They're great teams. They go deep in the playoffs, and the next year just fall off because they got 3 or 4 guys who are up for extensions or whose contract is up and they can afford to pay him, and now they're scrambling. Trajan seems to be on his P's and Q's with all of this stuff right now. So I like how he's just kind of setting it up already, getting ahead of it, because he knows it's coming. He knows it's coming.
Exactly.
Kevin says, I hate the expansion draft. That's how we lost Mahorn 100%.
Yeah, that's 100%. What Doug said, losing Mahorn. It's actually pretty funny. And I'll just the first time Deuce ever invited me on a show was an off-season fan show. And you invited me on, and that's the first time we met. We talked face to face, and we were asking questions. And my question was save 4 players from an expansion draft. My question was tough, but that was because I don't like it either. I don't like the expansion. The thought of it, especially as someone who literally loves everyone on our team. Like the thought of having to pick 8 people makes me sick. I don't want to be that business. But the positive thing right now is that it's not going to be this roster. It's going to be hopefully as close to it as possible, but it's pretty years away, so we don't have to worry about it yet. But I think it's everyone's. It's a nice, maybe on our fan show that we're hopefully be able to do next week at some point. That would be a good discussion question, because I would love to see who you guys would pick.
Yeah, that would be a good. That's a great topic. We can get everybody's opinion. But yeah, I agree, Doug. Everybody who talked about it, Michael, everybody who said that about Mahorn, because it's like we saw. Well, I vaguely remember. I didn't appreciate it then because I was like 5, but we did see after we lost Mahorn, because it's crazy how we lost him. We lost him right after the parade, and it's crazy because when he was up there, because all the guys get a chance to talk to the crowd, to the fans. I think he didn't even know. He didn't even know.
Oh my God, yeah.
He didn't even know yet, and you could see if you watch closely, you could see Vinny in the background and. As he's talking, they're just kind of like, they know. They're like, you can just see it's weird. But you saw the following year, the fact that he would, like, his presence was missed. You saw guys pushing Bill Laimbeer back. You saw Barkley pushing Bill Laimbeer back. You saw guys going after Laimbeer and going after Rodman, because Mahorn, as the reinforcer, he just wasn't there. He just wasn't there. So you just saw guys get more brave. They was pushing back. They was getting in guys' faces. So I think aside from his output on the court, like as far as the scoring and all that, just his presence was missed. So I see a lot of that kind of stuff in guys like Isaiah Stewart, who doesn't always have a glamorous box score, but just the presence that they bring. It just goes beyond the stat sheet. So yeah, I hate expansion drafts. It's cool to add teams. Like when we added, I think when the league added the Raptors and the Grizzlies, it's cool to have new teams come in and stuff like that. But it's like at the expense of losing teams or losing guys on teams that you've worked hard to build, and construct. It's just a tough blow. So exactly, Dom, a critical glue guy, 100%. Well said, bro.
And it's hard because expansion teams tend to happen when the Pistons are good.
Yeah.
It's like, because if you're a bad team, if you're the Kings, you're just kind of like, I can't even really. I guess I can pick 8, but I'm nothing. Like I can pick maybe 3 that I really want to stay and grow this franchise around. But yeah, it's tough.
That's not the situation we are in at all.
No.
So you're right. What a contrast, right? Yeah. So I say all that to say that I think this team is very deep, and unfortunately, with expansion drafts, it's a good thing to be deep, but it's also it's a blow because that can really affect your depth that you have because you got to get, other teams got to get players. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it for sure. Like Dom says, if we lost Stu, OKC losing Dort, or if the Warriors lost, right? It's just exactly. It's just one of those guys who is a pillar to who you are. The Pistons are a defensive team. Guys like Assar, guys like Stu, like those guys are a big part of this team's identity. Just period. Like when teams look across and see Stu on the other side, he can do something to you. Just knowing that you got to go against that every single game, especially in the playoff series.
They've turned around. They've seen him in the lane and turned around.
Right, exactly. So yeah. All right, boss. We'll leave it there. Let's see. Anything else? So he said one more thing. Don't forget the punch to the face from Isaiah that did absolutely nothing to Mahorn. Yeah, that was Mahorn with Philly, and he Isaiah's trying to hit him, and Mahorn's like, and it's funny because after Isaiah tried to hit him, he backed up real quick, like, I don't know what he's gonna do here. But yeah, it's tough to lose guys like that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, boss. But as of right now, we are in a good spot. So we'll leave it there, boss. Let's move on. Let's go to. I'm seeing guys who I didn't even know played. Wendell Moore played 5 minutes, got some cardio. Incomplete. He had 1 assist, no shots, no fouls, no turnovers. Just 5 minutes of good.
He had a foul.
Cardio. Did he have a foul? I don't see a foul for him. He got 1. He had 2. My bad. You're right. He had 2 fouls.
He fouled. You have to call him out because he fouled an Antetokounmpo on a 3. Alex Antetokounmpo. But you know what? You also have to call out Cade for fouling.
Yeah, that's a fact. Which
I already called him out for you.
Okay. Okay.
Wendell fouled Alex Antetokounmpo on a 3 with like a low shot clock. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's the end of the game. I'm not tripping. I still, but you're right. I always call it out because I don't want to see it. It's just it grinds my gears, as you guys know. But I like Wendell Moore.
And he was ball handler. He was ball handler when he was on the court. So
yeah, GVH, you got some cardio, bro. Boss, let's go to Ron Holland, guys. Ron Holland. I did see some Ron tonight in this game. It was hard not to see him in this game. Guys, he had 18 points on 6 for 10 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3, 75%. Guys, I don't want to speak too soon, but the last few games, something seems to have clicked for Ron Holland when it comes to his shooting the ball. It's small sample size, but his efficiency lately has just been a lot better, noticeably better. Maybe it's comfortability. Who knows? Maybe he's just finally starting to find his stroke. It's not a confidence thing because he's always confident. Right. But something has clicked, boss. So we know these guys don't all progress at the same time, at the same trajectory. It's ebb and flow with a lot of these guys. But the 3 of 4 from 3 and the 3 of 3 from the line, 3 boards, 2 assists, only 1 turnover, 2 steals, and a block for 3 stocks in 22 minutes. All those things are just good numbers. Even the minutes is good. So, boss, take off on what you saw from Lil Ron in this game. What'd you see?
Yeah, I have lots of notes on him. Again, got to see some things up close. And I will say he did foul out in those 22 minutes.
Okay.
So not something you want in 22 minutes. You want him to be able to play that much.
I agree.
You want him to foul out,
I agree.
But this is what I wrote this note down because when it happened, I was like, this is going to get Ron going because he had a miss. I think Cade threw it to, it was Ron's fault. He admitted it, but Ron, he was going for a dunk before he caught the ball and it went through his hands out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a nice pass too.
That was
a dunk.
Look, a couple bad at the rim looks, a foul already, but he knocked the ball out of Prince's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Torian Prince. I was like, I was telling people earlier, like they had Torian Prince and Usman Dang, and I grew up with Tajon Prince and Luol Deng
and Luol Deng.
because
The
he was
spelling is different for Deng, isn't it? Isn't it like
Yeah.
D-I-E-N-G or something like that?
It's D-E-N-G, but he was like the big Chicago guy when I was growing up, so like I heard his name all the time.
I mean for this Deng, isn't it
This thing is
D-I-E-N-G?
D-I-E-N-G. Yeah,
Okay.
different. But when they say it, I'm like, Prince and Dang, what year is it?
Yes, right. Time capsule.
But
sure.
he challenged, so he hit it out and it was called a foul, and he begged coach to challenge. This was in the first quarter. And we just saw Ron last game ask for a challenge and get it, and it was lost, even though we think it should have been won. But I wrote this down again because it definitely did help with the momentum. He got clean ball. So it's a successful challenge. It went off of Prince out of bounds, and that's when they announced that Ryan Rollins' 3 was a 2. Like Bucks just lost across the board. It wasn't like got no foul, turnover, let's take a point away. And I was like, this is gonna help turn Ron on. And I think that's why, because he was shaking his head before. Like he was just frustrated. Like I've been telling you, I want to see him get a game where he has confidence before we go into the playoffs, because I think it's so crucial. And the last game against the Magic is where I wanted to see it, because I thought it would be a good matchup, and it absolutely was not. But so after that, in the first quarter, he hit the 3, and that was from some of those miscues. So he hit the corner. By the way, all of his 3s were corner 3s.
Yeah.
The one that I've just been like, he can't shoot that right now. All of them, and then in the second, he had a miss. But then he had a miss on one end, a pretty bad one. But then he stole it, got it back, and ran it up for the layup. Then he had another steal and dunk in the second. In the third, he had another corner 3. He had an and one after hustling for the offensive board and loose balls. His hustle led to a steal on Rollins, and that was the Cade to JD dunk late in the third. And then another, that was the one that Blaha called JD. It was a monster jam, but it was because of Ron's defense and getting, helping get the ball out in transition, because he got a couple of steals where he created for himself, and then he got some steals where he was able to create for others. And then in the fourth, another corner 3. And like you said, the past few games, he's been, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, now 3 of 4. It's looking good, and it's scary because now defenses have to go defend him, and he's also someone who can we've seen him just go crazy and crash the board. So if you're coming out to defend him, he could use that to get around you. He could use that to get it off to someone else. And I would say, watching the commentary, Kelser to talk about it too, and he's like, and Kelser did say this a few games ago. He's like, his shot has looked better. I think it's going to improve in the off season. And Kelser is just reiterating, like, his shot has just looked much more well-rounded, and it's kind of improving earlier. And it's funny because in summer league, guys, we saw him pop off in that one game where he was just draining threes.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's kind of peaking again at the right time. So also, I don't think you saw it. Someone mentioned it in the comments earlier when we were talking about Stu. And again, I don't think you could have seen it from where you were in the game, but when he fouled out at the end of the game, he came out and he looked all like bummed and stuff. And Stu just gave him a big hug. And they were all just like, they're on their feet for Ron, because I think that they saw what I saw too, and that he kind of needed this game to get back into Ron form. Like you said, he's always confident. He's always showing effort. He's always hardworking. But today, like, it paid off. He was our 3rd leading scorer tonight with 18, the most points off the bench. He got the most points in 20. The guys who are ahead of him, Duran and Dunk, they played more minutes than him.
Right.
So he had some big boards as well. He just, especially with some mistakes early, he just really just paid off and stayed with it. And you don't want to see the fouling out, but at least we've seen him get into foul trouble without any of this production. And so I'll take this for sure. And I'm just excited for him.
I am too. Quick comments. Abraham says Ron is 6 for 10 from 3 in his last 3 games. So that's what kind of what I was saying. Like, it's a small sample size, but the last few games, it seems like he's kind of figured something out.
For a kid like him that was developing, and it was kind of off all season and rare.
Exactly. Dom says, talking to my boy during the game, was saying, could you imagine how open they leave him if Ron got hot and shot 35% plus from 3 in the playoffs? will be a huge X factor that could sway a series. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think somebody else said it too, as far as his minutes. Like, we don't know. It's not really like guaranteed like what his minutes are gonna be. Here, Mike says it. Playoff minutes are so tough to predict, especially for Ron versus Charlotte. He can play for other teams, maybe less. I don't think it's gonna come down to his shooting, but I think if his shot is falling, he definitely may get some more looks.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason why I say a guy like Javonte Green, why I think he is going to be a fixture in the rotation, because he and Ron do a lot of the same things. It's just that Javonte has shown this year that he is reliable from three consistently, right? But as far as everything else, they do a lot of the same things. I think Javonte is just a little bit more polished just because he's older. Ron's 20, Javonte's in his 30s, right? Javonte's been in the league, I think, a decade now. So it's like he just has more polish and he just has more experience. But they do a lot of the same things. So I think the difference between those two guys right now and why Javonte, I think, is going to have more minutes consistently is just because he's been there as far as just playing more in the league, seeing more things, different situations, and his three ball is just more reliable. That's it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and someone earlier too, we touched on it a little bit. Someone in the comments said it's been like because I was talking about how our offense, it's been about how, you know, Cade needs help, and now our offense tonight they shot 58% overall. Like the past two games, minus the Magic game, minus the game that we kind of just weren't even going in with intentions to win.
Yeah,
we've been shooting more than like closer to 50% or more than that. Like our offense has been much better, much spread out. You can't point to any one person and be like, this is Cade's help. Maybe JD, but like everybody else has carried their load too. But in the comment, they said guys like Ron, Karras, and Wu are really upping their game. And we've talked about this. And maybe Karras is a little bit generous with this because he has been out there to be a play creator, stuff like that. But those three guys, especially Ron and Wu, you ask for defense first. So the fact that we're asking for defense first and they're out there and they're doing, not only are they defending well, but they're providing the offense that is just the bonus. Yeah, is huge. Exactly. And again, a commenter, I can't remember who it was, but you know, we discussed it earlier, but like just pointed that out because and it's just cool to see those three guys who we commend for their defense. We commend them for their defense are now out there. And that's what's going to be dangerous too, is like you could have Ron out there with Herter and Karras, and that's three defenders that can shoot the three. Yep. If this goes on with Ron, is what I'm saying. Like if Ron can consistently give us, even if he can give us one of three, I'm thrilled because that's just contributing beyond the arc in ways that he couldn't before. So. Right, and he's already finding himself on the court. So yeah, for once again a young player. We talk about JD being 22 and Ron being the shot's gonna come around. Like Kevin said, I'm confident the shot's gonna come around for sure. In the meantime, between time, he's still being able to give us valuable minutes when he is playing. Alan asked, guys, and I actually don't have an answer for this. Who do you guys think should get the belt tonight? Boss, who do you think should get the belt tonight? I didn't get a chance to put the poll up, just got back, but who do you think should get the belt in this game? There's a lot of candidates. I know. I told him, I was like, I don't know how to do the poll, guys. I'm not as tech advanced. But when I was going through the starting lineup, see, Ron, I would give it to for his confidence as well. Okay. But when I was going through the starting lineup, it's to Assar for me. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see you can go any which direction. You can go Assar, you can go. You can give it to Cade for his return. Double return. JD 8 for 9 on 21 to 9. Like Dunk had 20 on efficient shooting. Yeah, I mean, I kind of think it's gonna go to Ron for the numbers he put up, and for his, like, again, with everybody up hugging him, like it's a little bit like Ron needed this. It wouldn't be a charity thing either, because it's not like he had 5 points and they're just trying to give him confidence. Like it's still valid because of how he played. From what I saw, I like Dunk too. Dunk, Dunk like he was efficient, Ron. Man. He was efficient. Ron, I'm not mad at that either. So I was, from what I saw, like, aside from the vibes, because like it makes sense as far as Ron in this game. If I'm just going strictly off what I saw, impact, it's hard for me, boss, to not go JD. Yeah, it's hard for me to not go JD because he's efficient again. Like he gave you almost another double again. Oh, 9 shots, he made 8 of them. A lot of candidates, Miyuki. A lot of candidates. Free throw shooting wasn't 5 for 7. It's okay. Like I want to see. I said it's not. I don't know if he has anything like I have. The last thing I want to do is go run up and down a court. So
Right. But I'm not gonna scoff at 5 for 7 for a big man.
no.
That's still pretty good. It's just we've gotten accustomed. Just same with his shooting. We've gotten accustomed to seeing him shooting 80% from the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those were and ones, so they
Yes, they
were
were.
already a score. So it wasn't like he was giving us nothing.
Right. But yeah, you can go any which direction. And once again, I love when you can, because that means that you're getting contributions across the board and they're making it hard to choose. So
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. If you guys say Ron, you say Dunk, you say JD, you say Assar, whoever, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. Cade, whoever, I'm with it. Boss. Let's keep going. Let's go to let's see what we got next, boss. Let's go to Javonte Savage. Can you woo in this game, guys? Javonte Green finished with 8 points on 2 of 4 shooting, 1 or 2 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line. Guys, the Pistons as a team shot 90% from the free throw line.
It's disgusting.
Regardless of who you're playing, this is one of those things where like, okay, we're not playing a good defensive team. When you're shooting free throws, it's always you in the hoop.
Yeah.
If it's the Thunder, if it's the Spurs, it's all like the best defense. It's still just you in the hoop. So I'm not even gonna say that, but like for them to shoot 90% as a team from the line, I'm taking it every 27 for 30 is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking across the board, like 3 for 3, 3 for 3, 3 for 3, 2 for 2, 2 for 2. Like, that's incredible. That's incredible.
The 30 free throws, it's crazy too. That also like Cade didn't get any, and there's a couple times he was like, "What? No, Cade didn't contribute to our free throws tonight."
That's crazy.
I know the Cade whistle is back. We were just saying how Jenkins was getting the whistle Cade deserves, and Cade
some things never change. That's crazy.
Oh man!
But take off on Wu. What'd you see?
So first of all, coming into this game, which now they added one steal to the box score here. I feel like he had more, but coming into this game, he had 88 steals in this season, and that's the third most in the NBA off the bench.
So he's leading off the bench now.
I don't know. That's third most, and then if he has one more, that's 89 steals. I'm curious who the other two are. They didn't say that. I'll look it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess it's a freaking Thunder and someone else.
Off the bench. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I just wanted to point that out. And he's also, again, still the guy. If he finishes out these last 2 games, not only will he have played all 82 games for the Pistons, he would set a personal record himself for that, which also just kind of shows that we are his home, because he's kind of been pushed. He's been a guy that can step in and step up and be a role player off the bench, but we've definitely utilized him in our lineup. So I just want to say that
he's the only guy that's played every game this year.
He is. He's the only. He's also he's the only guy who's played every game this year. So, and he could play all 82, which is nuts.
Yeah, that's how you guys know he's going to be playing in the playoffs.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead, boss. Go ahead.
But so in the first quarter, he had a swipe to a dunk, like immediately after checking in. He started our scoring in the second with a corner 3. And the third was just super disruptive. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. It's Case and Wallace is one of them.
Good call.
Disruptive defense in the third. Like he had some swipes in the passing lane and just went out of bounds. He knocked it out of Nance's hands at the basket, went out of bounds. Like just nothing easy. Nothing easy. So, and I think there was one where he got fouled on the 3-point play, and which is like the second time this has happened too. And it was funny because they were talking about it because he actually had words for the guy afterwards, because whoever was defending him was saying that because Wu went down hard. He was shaken up, and he was saying like he kicked out, and Wu got like mad. He's like, he got mad at him saying that because it more of like, and Greg, I didn't really see it, but Greg and George were talking about just what they were hearing and seeing. Like he took offense to that. And more so like, bro, I wouldn't just, I was down on the ground. Like that was not me. They didn't challenge or anything, obviously. And I don't think he kicked out. I didn't see the replay, but like, it was just, again, kind of just shows like, if you kick out, we've seen Shea do it too. We've seen Shea just get fouled and walk straight to the free throw line. Like, yeah. But like Wu was like, don't you dare insult me that way. I play ethical, kind of stuff. Is the attitude he was giving. It wasn't giving like challenge it. Like it wasn't like giving worried about a challenge. It was giving, don't talk about me that way. You don't know me.
Yeah.
So But Wu, again, played an incredibly fun game in 15 minutes. It's always good to see him out there. So, yeah, no fouls again. Always have to call him out for that. No turnovers. But yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see him a lot in the playoffs.
Definitely.
I do believe his defense is so important. But again, like he has a steal and a block, and I love when the stocks reflect his defense. But like I said, he had a super disruptive third as well. Like he's just tough to get around. And 5 rebounds. We had, because I was saying JD had 9 rebounds to lead the team, and then in second place, 4 guys were tied for second place with 5.
Wow.
Tobias, Cade, Jenkins, and Wu.
That's impressive.
Yes.
Impressive stuff, man. Once again, that's how we get it done, boss, as a team, man, for sure. So, yeah, I love what I saw from him, too. Mike says he was good in limited minutes, a steal, rebounds, made a 3, fouled in the 3. Yeah, just doing Javonte Green things, man. I think he's going to be the first or second player off the bench come playoff time, for sure. Heisenberg says Grand Theft Alvarado, maybe, as far as the other guy leading in steals off the bench, maybe. I don't know.
He hasn't.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he's played enough. I don't know what his Pels time looked like. I'm curious. I'll try to look it up. So
okay. Top Towel Detroit, our guy E. Vinny, Eric Vincent in the building, who's at the game tonight because he's a credentialed beat writer for the Pistons, right? He does that for sure. Shout out to E. Vinny. Says Hollywood Deuce make the big screen at LC. Yeah, guys, they had us on the big screen, man. They actually posted me on their social media page.
Yeah,
the Pistons did right here.
Tom said that's where he's at. Because Tom came in earlier and he's like, "What's up, Sarah?" And I was like, "Hey, Tom, Deuce will be in later. He'll sing for you." He's like, "Oh no, I already saw him sing on."
Yeah, so that was cool. Shout out to E. Vinny, man, for sure.
Yes.
Appreciate you, bro. Chris says, "Mr. Wu don't play that, coach."
Yes.
Right, bro, because you don't see him usually get upset. The same way you don't see Tobias usually get upset. Like it has to be something legit that triggers them in those situations. So yeah, I love Javonte Green, man. Same. I absolutely love Javonte Green. He has to be the biggest value sign across the league this offseason. As far as what the contract was versus the output you're getting, I don't think anybody, boss, saw Javonte Green having this kind of an impact. I don't think anybody thought at the beginning of the year Javonte Green would be the guy who's played every game.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that.
No.
I didn't see it. Like me and Eric actually did a reel when he first got here talking about how good he was going to be. Like he's going to be a depth guy. He's athletic. You know, he's scrappy. He can play solid defense. But the impact that he has on the team, we didn't see that. And we were the ones saying like he's gonna be solid for this team. But we thought it was more so like an insurance piece. You know, like how we see like guys like Tolu, for example. Like if we need him, he can step right in. But for him to step in and stay in and be critical to this team playing every game, nobody saw that. So once again, that's Trajan Langdon cooking again, boss. Go ahead.
I just have the stats for you. So number 1 is actually Drew Smith with 99 for the Heat.
Drew Smith
for the Heat.
Oh, Drew Smith?
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm
he
not
has
familiar
90, I don't know, but he has 99 steals.
Okay. Wow.
And then Jordan Goodwin for the Suns has 91.
Good one. Okay.
And then Javonte with 88. But guys, we actually have another Piston in the top 5. Lil Ron is number 5. And then number 4 is Brucey Brown.
That makes sense. That tracks. You've been
watching
him all
with
year.
81. They're tied with 81, and I can see Ron moving up. And imagine having number 3 and 4. I mean, I can see Javonte moving up to 2 also. He's only 2 behind. So.
That's possible. He's right there.
Yeah.
What, 3 behind? Yeah, I can see it. He could pop off and have a crazy game. I can see it. But yeah, I love Javonte Green. I absolutely love him. I think he's going to be on this team for at least the next couple of years, boss. I really do.
Yeah,
I do. So. That's all I got. Heisenberg said Hollywood swing. You silly, bro. Ronnie Hustle. Yeah, I was about to see.
Someone called him Braun. Someone called him Braun Holland today.
Braun Holland. Yeah. Hey, get him in transition, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him get loose in transition with a head full of steam.
Yep.
All right, boss. Let's keep going, man. Let's go to. We got 3 or 4 more guys. Let's go to Karis LeVert. I'm just going in order from the box score. Karis LeVert, guys, has 7 points on 2-4 shooting, 1 or 2 from 3, 2 from the line. 3 boards, 4 assists, and 1 turnover. 4-1. That's good. That's really good. 1 steal and 2 blocks for 3 stocks.
Yeah.
So not a ton of minutes, but a ton of production and impact in 20 minutes, boss. What you see from Karis LeVert?
Yeah, he had, and again, the defense, I mean, he had great offensive production in terms of efficiency tonight, I feel like, but the defense was apparent. Again, like we just said, like that's kind of what we want him for when he's out there if he can't give us some consistent offense, which he still did tonight.
Yeah.
His first bucket was a run out dunk. He just got behind the defense and Jenkins saw it and another lob. They were doing what the Magic did the other night.
Yeah.
There were a couple guys that got behind the defense, and Assar got it to Cade. Jenkins got it to Levert.
Mm-hmm.
He had a block from behind on Taurean Prince that forced the shot clock violation.
Mm-hmm.
Taurean was trying to get it up at the 3, which he is a good 3-point shooter. He made plenty of them tonight, but Harris didn't let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
In the third, he hit his first 3, and he just played great defense. He knocked it out of Nance's hand in the corner. That was everybody in the, I don't know if you heard it, everyone around it in the arena started going like, ooh, because he hit it out of the corner. And then Nance wanted the foul. So he started like shaking his hand, like, oh, and people, they were showing the camera and the people were like, nah, you're okay. It wasn't a foul. It's just a knockout. He probably did get a little bit of his hand, but Kelser said, well, the hand's on the ball. So, you know, but it was just kind of funny because the whole arena, everyone around was just like, just giving Nance some BS there,
activity.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. So Levert did awesome tonight. Yeah. He really just played his role well in 20 minutes. Again, the defense was just amazing. Like can't ask for anything better. And I'm happy with 2 of 4 and 1 of 2 from 3, and then making his free throws. It was good. He had some of his assists were really good as well. He had an assist to the Ron corner 3 because he dribbled it down low, and even the sporadicness not everybody loves, and it makes me nervous. But he was being all sporadic, and then he just, instead of going up, just passed it out, and that got around a 3. And like you said, the 1 turnover to the 4 assists is also very good for the limited time that he had out there. Yeah. Also, just before you go, they gave me another stat on Harris. Mm-hmm. He's the only rotation guy, and they counted 13 people in the rotation. He's the only rotation guy who has not been in the starting lineup. So for all the people that say that Harris is JB's guy, there were plenty of opportunities for Harris to be in the starting lineup this season.
Very true.
Even Herter was in the starting lineup for Harris was.
Great point. So. Yeah, so we can't even really rely on that JB thing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. The 1 turnover he had stood out to me, which is careless, just gave it right to him. That's what made me think he had more, but he only had 1. Regardless of how bad it is, unless it's at the end of the game in a crucial situation, it's still just 1, right? So to have 4 assists is impressive. The 2 blocks is extremely impressive from a guard. And that's just, once again, boss, goes to what he has been able to do for us all season on that end. That has never been the problem. For him, it's been the lack of consistent shooting or scoring or decision making, not looking to be in flow or not really fluid with the other guys. But it's never been the defense. Right. It's never been the defense. That's one thing I can say, because I've been critical of him at times. He's the guy who I thought would be even more important than Duncan Robinson when they first got signed here. And I've said that.
That's what I said at the top of the show. I said I wasn't even a Dunk. I was like, I wasn't even that thrilled when Dunk came, but I think it was more for the Heat. But I was pumped about Harris.
Yeah, we both were. Were. So I was like, the start of the season, I was like, man, what's going on? But the defense has never wavered. And that's one thing that he said that JB really helped him focus on when he played with him in Cleveland is the defense. So that's probably part of why JB felt comfortable playing him when he did, even though he didn't start. That's probably why he felt comfortable playing him, because he knew that's who we are, first of all, and he knows that he's going to demand that from him, and he's provided it. So for him to do what he did along offensively with the defense is very encouraging. He got more minutes tonight because obviously Herter didn't play,
right?
But he showed up and played those minutes, right? So I was happy with it. I thought he played good in this game. About
how they've kind of just like there's going to be kind of a fight for the shooting guards, and all of them, all of them have played well enough that I don't know about you guys, but I'm not nervous. I was never nervous. I was more nervous for if he made a mistake, what the chat would say about him. But when Harris comes on, he seems a lot more comfortable. He seems a lot more in it. I'm not as like, oh gosh, here comes some mistakes. Like, no, it's been a huge, he's really just shown up for this last stretch of the season. Has it been amazing? No, but like not in like 25 points, double, triple, stuff like that. Yeah. But in ways that we know is getting back into his form. And again, his defense tonight, especially with the 3 stocks, just goes to show that. So I feel a little bit more confident with with any of those guys entering the floor, especially given the matchups. Now we can be a little bit
Right.
more flexible with who matches up best with who.
Exactly. Doug says OKC just clinched best record. Have fun. So I wonder
Yeah.
if they're gonna play their guys. I
I
hope
talked-
they do for your sake, because that could be a crazy good game. Because I was
Well,
like,
'cause I
guys,
talked
I told
about
like
it.
boss, go to that game, bro. You can't miss that game. Like go
Well,
to
it's
that
like I
game.
talked about. Like I really want to see the Pistons Hornets
Yeah.
matchup, especially after a fun game like today. But like I can't miss that.
No,
The
you
Nuggets will still play full. But here's the thing: like they're gonna play some guys. I don't know, but like OKC's bench is just as fun.
Good point. We
And
saw
I don't
that
know.
when we played them.
And I don't know, like Jalen Williams has been out so much. I don't know if they're just like, you need to still stay warm. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't know how Shea, like I think he's eligible, but I don't know if he has to play these last few games to stay eligible. Like I don't know, but
Right.
I give my full Nuggets, and then of course the OKC bench is just gonna be thrilling. And I think it's the Nuggets last home game. It better be. If the Nuggets last home game's on Sunday, I'm gonna be like, come on. I want to
Yeah.
experience the fan appreciation night. But
Right. No, but you're
It'll be-
right though. Like it, despite who they don't have available, we saw when we played them the first time around,
Mhm.
they hung with us. We were pretty
Right.
much fully staffed for maybe one or
Right.
two guys, and they still kept it a game. They lost, I think, 116 to 124,
Mhm.
and they stayed attached all game, despite not having any of the big guys. No Shea, no J Dub, no Hartenstein, no Chet, and they still fought. So
I hope with
you
some of
should
these
still get to see a good game. Yeah.
I hope with some of these clinches, they release the schedule soon. I just need to like breathe and know that
I
it's
know.
on Sunday, the 19th. I think it will be. I'm like
I think it
90%.
will be.
But also, just real quick with that too, I also don't
Yeah.
know. Like they might just play their guys like it's a normal game. Maybe not play as much, but they might still play them because the Nuggets. They might want to mess with the Nuggets. The Nuggets just passed the Lakers in seeding, but they might want to be like, no, fall down because we want you second round. Like you don't know. I don't
You
know
don't
what
know.
they're thinking about that
That's a
too.
good
So.
point.
I think that I'll still see some names I'm excited about, like Isaiah Joe, like
Right.
AJ Mitchell, So,
Maybe some
but
Wiggins a little bit.
yeah, and then hopefully hopefully the Nuggets can just deliver a great game against their bench. And I feel the Nuggets actually tonight, real quick while we're on them, they just got their 10th straight win, and it's actually the longest in the Jokic era.
So they're peaking at the right time, boss. Like we always talk about, right? Getting
And
healthy.
guys, I had tickets to that game, but I came
she
here.
did. She did. That's why boss is a really
Deuce's
MVP,
stuff
man.
was much more important. I would have just gone to see they played the Grizzlies, who I know Cedric Howard and no one else. So that's helpful, So I was like, yeah.
Still appreciate you being here though. Regardless. Especially,
Thank you.
this is your flu game, your rotten pizza game, spoiled pizza game. So we
Oh yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you.
Shout out to Pop, man. He was just here watching the boys for us, and he just got back home. He's
Aw.
already supporting. Shout out to he said, I enjoyed the game. Good to see the gang back together playing. Yeah, man. Peaking at
Absolutely.
the right time. That's what it's all about, Pop, for sure. You know ball. You get it, man. All right,
Mhm.
guys. Anything else we see? Denver's at San Antonio Sunday. I remember. Yeah. Bro. They played well, just like our bench did to them. Exactly. The same. It was the flip when we played them. The difference is we almost won. I never felt like when our guys were out, we almost won when they had everybody. I never,
man.
as hard as OKC played, I just praised them the first time when they didn't have anybody. I never felt like we were going to lose. I was just like, man, put these boys away finally, please.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't go away. They wouldn't go away. But us, we were 2 inches away from Dennis Jenkins' game winner.
We had to play in
It's
the
a hair
fourth.
long.
That's like their biggest flex. They're like, well, he's MVP and he only has to play 3 quarters. Not against us.
Not against us, without anybody. And not anybody, not without a lot of our starters. So, yeah. So that just shows maybe we do it. As far as the benches is concerned, we're right there. We're right there, if not better, if we being real, than anybody in the league. So if we're healthy as far as our big guns, it ain't no telling what we can do this year.
Truly.
I'll just leave that there. But we've shown that. So, all right, boss, we'll leave it there. Thugwood says, Detroit basketball. What's up, bro? Appreciate you, man. Magic number over Lakers is 2. You know I can't miss the magic number. You
That's
gotta
gonna be
pivot
done
because
on
we
Friday.
don't have no more. You got to pivot, Doug.
Yeah. Nuggets will win and Lakers will lose and we'll be good.
You're probably right. And I'm a Lakers fan. Especially with Reeves and
I watched some of the
Luka
game yesterday.
out.
I was like, oh, Drew Timmy, this is gonna be a tough game. First quarter. Then I switched it over to
was
Rockets Suns. I checked back in like third quarter and they were up and OKC was up by like 40. I was like, okay. Never mind.
They tried. Looking spooky for my Lakers. Anyway, guys, let's keep pushing. Boss, let's go to Sass. Play 5 minutes. Misses 2 shots. They were both threes. And got cardio. Incomplete. Don't have much to really say there. It makes me wonder how much he's going to play playoff time, come playoff time.
Yeah.
If I'm being real, because we know that
He's
JB's
not
probably
gonna.
trying to get. And we talked about that though, boss. We talked about it before, as far as just what they want on the court, as far as just big guys with versatility who you can switch and not have to worry about getting hunted out. At least with the Duncan, he's just a bigger guy. He just can't move laterally, but he's still got a little bit of length to him. He can still kind of contest shots at 6'7", right?
Yeah.
And I just think that may be what they are pivoting to. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've said it all year, is that I think that's going to be something that they focus on in the postseason, is just having a bunch of switchable guys, whether they're bigs, whether they're perimeter guys, just guys you can switch and have versatility with. So I just saw last game when watching the Celtics and the Hornets last night. I saw at the end of that game, the Celtics continually hunting out Concanable for Jaylen Brown over and over and over and over again. And I think that's something that Trajan wants to avoid if he can. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be a matchup thing at this point. And Sass has delivered for us.
For sure.
Last year, especially, just delivered for us coming in just to be a spark when we need it, just to go hit those threes. So if he can kind of go back to that, that's great. And I do want to say his second three literally just went in and out. Like, it was so close. It was so close. And so I was just hoping he got that for his sake. But I think if he had one more chance, it would have drained it. So
yeah.
And he came off a game too where he was making his three. So like you said, incomplete.
Yep. Two more guys. Let's go to Chaz Lanier. Chaz. Tonight, guys, Chaz played 6 minutes. Didn't play a lot either. Incomplete again for me. But he did have 3 points. He knocked down one shot out of three, and that shot was a three ball. All of his shots were threes. 2 boards and 1 assist. And once again, 6 minutes for Chaz. Boss, what you see?
Yeah, I love that he got 2 boards. One was offensive, one was defensive. He played aggressive. 3 points. He hit his first 3, then missed the other 2, but it was just nice to see him get that. And then an assist. So, yeah, he had limited minutes, but registered something in every category. And I think he played good D as well. So it was just fun to see him out there. And again, this is a guy that I do want to see develop with us. I think he'll have a lot of time in the offseason to do that, especially now that we have more of a set type of way. Obviously, we developed our defensive way of play last year, but like it's really coming into focus this year with who we have. So I'm excited to see what he can do. But just again, I'm happy that he hit a 3 in the last home game. So
yeah, exactly. Maybe you can build a little confidence because guys like him, you just gotta see one go in, and who knows what can happen.
Yep.
Right, for his confidence. So that was good for him to see that. Boss, last guy, my guy Tink, Danis Jenkins, guys. I don't know why I had him last, but he's the last here tonight.
I know.
Yeah, but that wasn't on purpose, guys. Just running through the list. But tonight, guys, Tink finished with 9 points on 1 for 6 shooting. So he wasn't shooting well, 1 of 3 from 3, but he made every single free throw, 6 out of 6. And he also had 5 boards and 6 assists to 1 turnover. That's more like it. That's the Tink and Danis Jenkins we talk about, boss. The ball security, just protecting the basketball tonight, even though it was hectic and I only saw bits and pieces of the game. When I did see him in the court, when I saw him, I was like this.
Yep.
There he is. So what'd you see tonight, boss, from Danis Jenkins in this game?
Yeah, the 1 of 6 was tough. I swear he had a 3 go in, but I must just be imagining things. But
he had 1. That was his only make.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see that. That makes sense now. Yeah. So yeah, couldn't get anything else really going there. But like you said, his free throws was, got in other ways. He had 4 assists in 4 minutes in the first. So he came in for Cade. Because Cade went out. I said this earlier in the game. Like Cade went out in 5 minutes, and usually you're used to seeing him. And of course, obviously, that was the right call because he's injured, but recovering. But usually he's like kind of our last starter we pull. Like usually he plays till the 3-minute mark in the first. So he went out first. Jenkins came in, had 4 assists in those minutes, and then went back out because Cade came back in, which I was kind of surprised that they brought him back in the first. But I think it was because they were just JB was just trying to get ahead early so that he could play other people. So he wanted to give Cade his minutes without having to use Cade late in the game.
Yeah, it could be.
So Jenkins is just amazing there. And again, the 5 boards is huge too. He really rips them down. And, he was going against Ryan Rollins, who had 23 points but had just as many assists as Danis, and less rebounds. But I just, again, it wasn't amazing, but I didn't even realize that he was 1 of 6 the way he was playing because he was getting to the line. He was doing these other things. So yeah, Michael says Danis looked really good. Don't care that he missed 5 or 6 shots. He was passing well, no turnovers, productive. Yeah, he was just very solid out there. And we got in the fourth, at the start of the fourth, we talked about this a little bit earlier too, but we did see some Jenkins and Cade minutes.
Yeah. Yes,
but
I did peep that.
Nothing really happened because then Cade ended up going out.
Yeah.
But it was just fun to see. And again, I think that was more just so like they could bring in like Sass. There's like, you guys go finish this off, and Cade can rest and Jenkins can take over. Like just get Cade his minutes and everything. But just good, just nice to see it out there. I wish we could have seen what that like more of it, but we will. I think especially with Cade's minutes too, and especially come Sunday, if Cade's going to try to play our last game against the Pacers, if Cade's going to try to play 20 minutes, I think that gives us a little bit of a chance to play Danis next to him. And then once Cade hits that mark, you know, just like last year with the Bucks game, how we just had everyone in, like Lindy Waters and stuff, bringing us back and tying the game late. Like, I think it's going to be like a empty the bench sort of game.
Yeah, that was the Bobby Masterclass game. Was
yeah. And so it's going to be like that, but they're going to, if they are trying to get Cade to 64 games, then Cade's going to at least have minutes. And I can see them playing Jenkins with him and then kind of playing Sass or someone as the backup, because it's a game that's just going to be who can all play. But
that's what coach just said too, though, because he said he wants to see how that looks. He's hoping that he gets a chance to play those two guys together, which is what I always want to see. You know, take pressure off Cade as far as just having another ball handler on the court. That's just important to not have 10 defensive eyes on Cade all the time. That's just important. And Heisenberg, he did his job. And that's what we always say, boss. If you're playing extended minutes and you don't have a ton of points, what else are you doing on the court? So the rebounds, the assists, the ball security, just being a floor general, setting up other guys while not hurting your team is what Danis Jenkins does. We all say control the controllables. You can't control your shot every single game. You can't control, you know, taking care of the basketball, leading your team, your defense. Those are all things you can control, your effort. And we know with him, just like so many other guys on this team, Ron, Javante, B-Ball Paul, he's going to bring it. He's another guy. We talked about Ron, how if he's not shooting well, it doesn't affect his defense. B-Ball Paul, not shooting well, doesn't affect. Same with Danis Jenkins, another case for that tonight. 1 of 6 from the floor, didn't affect any other part of his game at all. So that's exactly what you want. Just hold the fort down and allow Cade to be able to rest without having to rush back into the game because the lead is dwindling or the deficit is building. And he does that. He just holds the fort down. And more times than not, we're in a better spot when he leaves the game. So it's like, another good game from him overall. I don't care about the shooting. We know he can shoot. He's shown he can shoot. He's shown he can score, averaging, like 20 and almost 10 over a stretch of games when Cade was out. Like, he's shown what he can do. So just control the controllables, and he's done a good job of that.
That's where I'm at with him. But I just also want to just say, guys, again, fantastic home game, but we got to play everyone that was eligible for the last home game of the season. That's really cool.
That is cool. That is cool. So, guys, let's look ahead really quickly. I haven't had a chance to update the graphic because I just got home. So you don't see a green dub next to the Bucks game, but y'all know we got another dub. Next game, guys, we play the Charlotte Hornets on Friday at 7:00. That is going to be a fun game. Boss isn't going to be here, but I'm still going to be here. She's, she did a thing tonight, so I'm going to take up for her come Friday. But definitely it's going to be a game that we're watching for sure. It's going to be a good one. It's a potential team we play in the first round. We don't know how it's going to shake out with the play-in tournament. That can go any which way. We don't know, and that's kind of the fun of it because you can't really dodge one of the teams that are your kryptonite if they're at the bottom, if you're at the top. So it's going to be fun to see how that plays out. But I want to see just how we look against them. I want to see who plays, it's going to be interesting to see a lot of different variables going into that game. But I do think the Charlotte Hornets are, of all the play-in teams, boss, the team that I think will be the toughest for the Pistons, whether it's the Heat, whether it's the Sixers, whoever, not the Hawks, but the Raptors. I think the Hornets will probably be the toughest draw for the Pistons. Well, I think we'll beat any of them, but I think the Hornets will be the toughest team that we have to play in the first round if we do draw them. Go ahead.
Agreed. I just want to say too, because someone mentioned it, I forgot if it was in this chat or our Instagram chat group, guys, which we should send the links. You can find the link in the caption, because if you guys want to come talk some ball with us in our Downtown Deuce Instagram chat, it's really fun. Everyone there is awesome. Just dropping Pistons and basketball knowledge on the daily, especially with the playoffs coming. Please come join.
Shout out Ryan Kelly, Camille, all you guys. Chevy,
Jamal,
everybody.
Fatima, all of you. Lisa.
Come on, I'm sorry.
They'd mentioned that the Hornets, if they need to win to avoid being in the 9-10.
Right.
So they
the
need to win
urgency. Yeah.
to be in the 7-8. So
Yep.
doesn't guarantee the 7-8 for them, I think, because they'll be tied with the Sixers. Right now, Magic are 7, Sixers are 8th, Hornets are 9th, and Heat are 10th.
Okay.
But the Raptors are 6th, and the Magic are a half game behind them. The Sixers are a half game behind the Magic, and the Hornets are a half game behind the Sixers. So still a couple crucial games for these teams. So the Hornets are going to come out playing hard. And of course, we want to win it because also, guys, if we win these next 2, we hit 60.
We hit 60.
So that's big also. It's big. And I think George Blaha and Greg Kelsey were talking about it a little bit. And Greg's like, I just think it's huge for the team to get there. And George agreed that it is important. But of course, like it's not the end of the world, but it would be cool to see.
Right.
But the Hornets they have a reason to play. They did pretty good against the Celtics. They had when their 3 shooting is on, like LaMelo popped off. He went crazy.
He did.
So I'm really curious to see how we match up against them this time as well. I still think that we'll bring it our all against them. Again, not the end of the world if we lose. Definitely not showing what could happen in the playoffs because we're not 100% healthy. Like Cade isn't going to play 35 minutes. Deuce not going to play 35 minutes. Like we're not going to see that completely. And so, I'm just, it's going to be fun. I'm going to watch as much as I can before I go to the game. And just happen with you guys.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't be upset. Like what we saw tonight as far as minutes is I hope we see the same thing. I don't want to see it like if maybe play a couple more for Cade, maybe, but like just keep these guys steady. Keep them steady with their minutes. Just keep them consistent. Let them play. But so this is interesting. So like Heisenberg, if we do win that game and push them down potentially to 9 or 10, we still could play them in the first round because they have to win 2 games just to get to the 8th spot. But if they get to the 8th spot, they play us if they win those 2 games. So we could bury them in the sense that they have to win 2 games to get in, but I think they're very capable of winning those 2 games. I think they're better than the other teams that are in the play-in.
But I think of the 3 teams that they could face, the Heat, who they would face, would give them the most problems in that game.
That's possible. I could see that.
Compared to the Sixers and the Magic.
I agree.
Because that could turn into a Tyler Hero, LaMelo Ball show.
That could be fun. That could be fun. Or even the Raptors. I think they're better than the Raptors too, honestly. The Heat. I think the Heat could beat the Raptors.
But the Raptors are out of the play-in right now.
Are they out right now? Okay, that they were like in and out. Okay.
It's Magic and Sixers. So they're half the 6 through 9 are all half a game behind each other.
Right. Insane.
Yeah, nuts. But I do agree. But the Hornets, if they do win and they get to 7-8, they could be it would be Hornets Magic, and then I think Hornets would win that.
Yeah.
And then it'd be Hornets Celtics first round.
That would be funny because they just played them. And that was a tough game for the Celtics. Yeah. You did see though the lack of experience on the Hornets part in the fourth quarter. Because those 2 teams are very similar. It's Charles Lee was an assistant coach for Joe Mazzulla before he became the coach of the Hornets. So they play the same way. Spider-Man meme watching those 2 teams. The difference was in the fourth quarter, you saw a team who was experienced, who had championship experience, versus a team who didn't. That's what it came down to.
That's what I think that their kryptonite is because they do rely so much on perimeter shooting that, first of all, if their perimeters, if no one's hot, then it's tough. Second is, again, like you said, it's just the youth showing. They are just a little, and it's kind of like I think we were better than them last year when we entered the playoffs, but I think that they could choke first round in some areas. And someone just said they want to see Knicks drop to the 4. So I'll give you guys a quick standings update. So the Celtics are probably going to lock in the second, even though both the Celtics, I think the Knicks have 3 more games at least. They actually play each other, I think, tomorrow. But
I think you're right.
The Knicks are 3 games behind the Celtics. I see the Celtics staying in second. But the Knicks are only half a game ahead of the Cavs in 4th.
That's crazy.
So they could switch. And the Cavs just beat the Hawks, who I think the Cavs play again.
Oh, my Lord. That's going, man.
So the Cavs, and if the Hawks are in 5th, the Raptors are in 6th, but they're only half a game behind the Hawks.
Right.
The Hawks could still fall to the play-in somehow.
So all up and down the Eastern Conference, like between now and the end of the season, it could look very different.
5 through 9 is all a half game within each other. The Heat are like 1.5 behind the Hornets, so they're pretty locked in 10th, I would say. But 5 through 9, man, it's gonna be fun. So that's where the Eastern Conference is right now. If it ended today, Knicks would play the Raptors and Cavs would play the Hawks. I would like that switch. I think the Cavs and Raptors would be fun because they got some big defenders in there. And Knicks and Hawks would be tough. And if the Knicks fell to fourth, we'd probably have them second round if everything went to plan. So
meanwhile, the Pistons are at the top, like, hey, what y'all doing down there? Y'all having fun?
Yeah.
Which is it's so fun to be a Pistons fan right now and just be able to just chill. Like last year, we were like trying to avoid the play-in, and we were trying to stay at 6 so we didn't drop to the play-in.
Oh yes.
This year,
and
just
Knicks
like
Knicks do have the tiebreaker. If they do tie, Knicks will stay in third.
Okay. So we'll see, guys. We will see, man. But once again, guys, I want to shout out Boss again for holding it down, man. She really came up, and I was texting her early this morning. She was really going through it. Like,
I was trying
to be able to do it. And she was like, all right, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to have my tea, my cough drops. And she stuck it out, man. That's what bosses do. That's what that's what B-ball boss do. She stays ready for the moment and she delivers, as Doug mentioned, man. So he said, Sarah played hurt tonight, Deuce. Hats off to Boss, who's our B-ball boss. Yes,
B-ball boss. Oh my God, I feel so honored to be compared to B-ball Paul.
That's one of your favorites. Guys. That's one of your favorites, man.
Yeah.
Final Contact making a return. I hope so for the playoffs.
Oh my God.
I hope so, man. I hope
that brings me back.
See. Yes.
Also, welcome to. Did you ever see that? I used to see the YouTube edits all the time for "Welcome to Detroit City" by Eminem. They always did. They always did. I'll send you the edit. They always it was always like Ben Wallace. It was the 04, 05, the 03, 04 team. It was just "Welcome to Detroit City." I have that song. I listened to that song. It's been in my top, like my most listened to since I was 9.
I love that song.
Yes.
I love that song. Hopefully we get that play too. Okay, yeah, for sure. Shout out to Eminem, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, guys, we're gonna call it a night, man. 2 hours and 45 minutes, and y'all still here. That's crazy. But we appreciate you guys so much, man. For showing up, showing out as you guys always do. Sorry I got back so late. I got back as quick as I could, but it was pandemonium at LCA, man. It was shout out to the Pistons, man, for having me down again. For all the gifts they gave me. Just looking out, putting me on their page. Shout out to Tamar, Marissa, Liv. Tiana, just the whole team, everybody who really looked out. I really appreciate all of them and everybody who was there content creation wise, man. Got a chance to meet with a lot of good people, networking, and we're gonna work on some things going forward in the future. So some good things coming ahead, guys. So we appreciate everybody who plays a part, and most importantly, we appreciate you guys for being here, making it possible for us to be here and be able to just let us get off our thoughts on y'all and to give us some of yours as well, because you guys are very enlightening in what I call the best community out there. So thanks again, guys, man, so much, man. Make sure y'all get some rest. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe if you are new. Have a great night. Y'all be safe, man. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking hundreds, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that chop, you must run this way. If the dog palm, mess around, find out, If the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that.